Hello. Hello, and I don't know how long. Was I just like on camera for a long time? Silent? Oopsie, but I cannot stress this part enough. Daisies. Welcome to a very special stream. So, a little bit of backstory required for this one. For the longest time throughout university, for many years, I updated a bi-weekly webcomic that I lost all of the files for. They were on some old hard drives that I no longer had access to. But they were in my mother's storage room. And recently, she was cleaning out her storage room, and she she took those old hard drives and had them put onto a thumb drive and mailed it to me physically, which is very funny. But and on them were the webcomics, which is the reason I wanted them in the first place. So I'm very excited to have them back. I would be very disappointed if they were gone forever. I have based a lot of the marketing on this stream around the fact that there's problematic elements, just because I want everybody to be emotionally prepared for that. That is not like I would think the defining element of these comics. I think they're just kind of shitty old comics that I used to make, but I'm extremely excited to share them with you. And Cumberland Bandersnatch, thank you for the subscription. Is it going to have some yikes in it? Oh boy, is it ever? It's not going to. Listen, it's not like I went through like a neo-Nazi phase or something. It's just like some of the shitty attitudes you would expect a 19-year-old to have in the early 2000s. So just that's about the level I'm at. Let's get started. So this is the webcomic. It's called Mild-Mannered Jerks. This should give you an idea of the level of quality we're dealing with here. This is the cover for the first storyline, My Lucky Day. Before we get to that, I would like to introduce the cast. So I go to this. This is the main character, Ollie O'Neill. Despite being invulnerable to any and all forms of physical harm, Ollie still feels physical pain as though he were not. Keenly enthusiastic, Ollie enjoys having adventures with his friends as well as complaining about things. Abilities: invulnerability. Weaknesses: physical pain, whininess, difficulty with women. Whininess, I don't think I spelled right there. There's also going to be a lot of spelling mistakes. I was one of those 19-year-olds back then. I would not put this version of myself on stream. Listen, I get a lot of emails from people. Sometimes they're like, I used to think some bad stuff and I feel bad about it. I think it's only fair that you see, that I used to be a shitty guy. Strength level, not too great. Did I profit from this? By no means did I profit from this. This stream is as close to profiting from... Nobody even fucking read this. I did this for years to nobody. I updated this consistently. I took it very seriously, and just fucking nobody read it. Right now, the people watching this total is more than the people who've ever read it. Like, by far. This is Olive O'Grady, Ollie's roommate and best friend who boasts a plethora of superpowers which she refuses to use properly. Right away, we're defining the principal female character by her relationship to the male character, so that's not ideal. Abilities: varied and impressive. Weaknesses: lack of shame. Power level: no known limit. This is Deirdre Power, my favorite of the characters, and who you will see gets involved in more and more of the storylines just because I enjoyed writing her. A co-worker of Ollie's who moonlights as a crime-fighting dominatrix possessing superhuman levels of social anxiety. Deirdre spends most of her time with her cat, Stuart. Abilities: surprisingly competent crime fighter. Weaknesses: low self-esteem, awkwardness, and I don't know why I wrote this, presumed asexuality. I think the joke there, because obviously asexuality is not a weakness, and I think even at the time I wouldn't have thought it was. I think the joke is the presumed part, that people presume she is, and thus she can't get a boyfriend. I think is meant to be the joke. Either way, not how I would make that joke today. Strength level, Olympic class dominatrix. Very proud of that joke. This is so in old Marvel comics, they would have power levels for all the characters, and whenever someone was like just a regular human, they'd call them an Olympic class athlete. Eboshi, Ollie and Olive's other roommate, who is a poet and a free thinker, also, uninterestingly, a ninja of some sort. That's actually a spoiler that he's their roommate. That doesn't happen for a few storylines. Abilities: one with shadows, master of martial arts. Weaknesses: dubious taste in movies, genuinely appreciates Alien Resurrection. Strength level: could rip a dude's head off. Should be an apostrophe there. Is it cancelable? I think it is finger waggable. I think there's a lot of stuff in here that it's like, hey man, do better. Marilyn Wickworth, the unknowing recipient of Ollie's misguided affections. Marilyn is a witch, like a real one, not a high school junior with too much eyeliner. See, that's a joke I would not make again today. That's. I don't think it's necessarily that problematic of a joke, but it's too mean of a joke. Yeah. Abilities, ill-defined magical abilities. Magical powers would have been better there. Get ready for a lot of this. A lot of just here's how I would do this today. Weaknesses: terrible cook, tends to be overly dramatic, inability to remember Ollie's name, which is a running joke in the comic show. Always calls him something different. Strength level, refuses to do girly type push-ups, so she can do regular style push-ups, I guess, is the joke. Pete Wayan, self-appointed protector of Adventure City, and hey, Paw Patrol, I had that name first, okay? I had that first Paw Patrol. Self-appointed protector of Adventure City, Pete is the master of the deadly Frisbee martial arts style of the Whammo Monastery in eastern Tibet. Ollie kind of wants to punch him in the face. Abilities: can throw frisbees with astonishing accuracy and power. Weaknesses: considers his good looks a curse as well as a blessing. Does that count? Strength level: much higher than Ollie's. And Todd the Bat. Todd is a giant bat. Abilities: speech, because most bats can't speak. Flight, sonar. Weaknesses: poor vision. That's actually not true of bats. Strength level: proportional to a regular-sized bat. And this brings us at last to the beginning of the comic. At the first couple of storylines are going to be a little hard to read. Well, they're all going to be hard to read, but the reasons the first ones are going to be harder than most is because A, the artwork starts off, like, it never gets good, but it starts off really bad. And it's all handwritten, so it's literally hard to read. But on top of that, it's also like fucking so overwritten. It's like the most cringy Joss Whedon dialogue. It never quite dies out, but like the first storyline is the worst for it. It's very the bacon, the narwhal bacons at midnight style talking. So the galoot, he says, "Give me the bag. Call the cops and I'll moidalize you." And sneaking up behind him, we can see Ollie's silhouette with little footprints to indicate that he's been walking through the snow. Here we go, he thinks. "Please no, it matches my hat. I need it." The joke being she only wants her purse because it's a nice looking purse. Crime fighting tip number 1. The bigger they are, the less they like getting beamed in the nuts with a baseball bat. "Hey, doucheface." The galoot says, "My niblets." Ollie says, "Let's dance." Now this is This is a recurring thing we're going to see in the comic. That's his catchphrase. And I want you to ask yourself, did I know that Ollie was an unlikable character? Because I don't know if I knew that. He's so unlikable. He's a horrible person. He's jealous. He's cruel. He's impatient, and he doesn't think about anyone but himself. But I don't know if that was intentional. It genuinely might have been. There's definitely jokes at his expense throughout the comic, but I can't tell if I was writing him to be unlikable intentionally. This is Emerald. Thank you for the subscription. Likewise, Sam King of Bees. Pilser 3, thank you for the bits. And the gift sub, the community sub. Eek. It's like look how his fist like is just changing sizes. Oif. Crime fighting tip number 2. Sing Love Shack inside your head as loud and happily as you can manage to dull the pain of the inevitable rain of blows to follow. The Love Shack is a recurring theme in the comic. Let's dance is the lamest thing to say before a fight. I think that was intentional though, because he's a very he never gets to look cool. Like that's the thing that he wants more so than anything, and he never gets to do it. This glute is one tough son of a bitch. Oh man, that's sick. Get your hand out of your pants. I can't help it. You beaned me in the nards. That's not cool. Why does he also use the terminology beaned? Yeah. Oif is egg in French. I know. That was intentional. Because it's the old joke. If you hit a French guy in the stomach, he goes, egg. I can't help it. You beaned me in the nards. That's not cool. Sorry, dude, but that ought to learn you not to steal purses. Crime fighting tip number 3. Be firm, but responsive. So he picks up his bat, but gets a good punching going on. I like that the galoot is running away, holding his nards. I like that. That's a good touch. Crime fighting tip number 4. And then I guess this is meant to be a colon. I thought it's a number 48 for a second. When your opponent defeats you and runs away, clutching his groin, leaving you sore and cold in the freshly fallen snow, resist the powerful urge to cry until your tears form a suit of armor, emotional armor. See what I mean about the overwriting? Is the galoot secretly an egg? I mean, if the comic continued, I'm sure the galoot would have a character arc. Oh, hey, Olive. You seem rather glum. Check out my Quit Your Mopin' dance. Note the butt shake. Just cringing out of my gourd over here. You're not even looking at my butt. A dude grabbed his balls and hit me with the same hand. Still, butt shake. Shut up. Fine, Ollie. My booty will remain motionless. Just... No one talks like this. Here is money for your writing. You may now refer to yourself as a professional author. Thank you. Nothing would have stopped me if I'd wanted to do that in the first place. Any plans to revive the comic with a more conscious effort? Yes, but it's a plan that's been in the back of my head for 20 years, so it's unlikely. But listen, does it cheer your whiny ass up to know that Marilyn, who you want to make kisses with, called like an hour ago for you? Marilyn called for me? Did she happen to mention being taken with me and wanting to immediately make out with extreme prejudice? No. Good enough for me. It's the One Piece School of Drawing Women? Yeah, I was in the beginning, I wanted everybody to be like tubes. I wanted everyone to have like tube-like limbs, and their torsos were tubes so that they could bend in all sorts of weird ways. Later I give up on that as the art style becomes a bit more sophisticated than this, but in the beginning that's what I was going for. I don't think I really pulled it off. Hey there, Marilyn. I'm just returning your call. Hey, Todd. No. Pete? No. Ollie? Ollie. O'Neill. Oh, hey. Oh, well, hey. So she says, oh, well, hey twice. Okay. She looks like Pac-Man. Let it be said. Yes, rubber hose. It's rubber. It was meant to be like rubber hose, like 30 style, but I didn't have that terminology at the time. And I also didn't like look into like the conventions of that. So it's just like they're drawn as tubes for no real reason. Oh, hey, well, I just called because I'm throwing a party on Saturday. I'm turning 18. God, I feel so old. You know what I mean? Anyway, it's at my place and stuff, so I guess I'll see you there. Now, to be clear, I was 19 when I wrote this, so it's not creepy that she's 18. This is fun. I like it. Take money. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dij666. She kind of knows who I am. This is totally great. Does this mean my rotten luck is finally starting to turn around? Meanwhile, at the Lava Men Summit 05. To answer your question, Mr. Schlorgon, the invasion of the surface world and thus slaughter of the pathetic indigenous surface people will begin on Saturday around 8-ish. I still think that's kind of funny. I will let you know when I still think the jokes are funny. Is my tail straight? Yes. Incidentally, why are you dressed as a, quote, Playboy bunny? Why is that in quotes? The moment you look back and cringe at people saying they're old at 18, I think that was, even at the time, was meant to be a joke. That everything she's everything she's saying is so banal. Like, you know, it's at my place and stuff. Like, I think it's definitely a joke that she says, oh, I'm so old. It's clearly my costume. Okay, this is the part where I sob softly because Marilyn didn't tell me this was a costume deal. Thanks for all the cool vids, Thunk Gunk. Thanks for watching. Shit, well, there's always the old fallback. And so, Olive and Kirk, you made it. This is based on a true story where I only had like moments to prepare for a costume party and did dress in a toga. And likewise, did keep my socks on like a total nerd. You look great tonight. Thanks, Tony. It means a lot coming from you. You make a foxy girl. This is supposed to be a toga. I don't know why toga is capitalized. And my name is Ollie, but just now when you said it means a lot coming from you, what exactly do you mean? I'm assuming that was meant to be, what do you mean? Does it mean take me now, my fierce jungle lover? Geez, Ollie, I'm so sorry. I am so dumb. This is a mistake. She should not, even after him saying his name, if I were writing this today, she would not call him by his human name. It means a lot to me because it's nice to know that somebody who can bag a pretty girl like Olive will find me attractive. This is I don't know why I wrote Marilyn to be so self-deprecating. That is not how she is portrayed later in the comic. I'm interested in what a modern Mildred superhero comic would look like. Your literary analysis of super stuff has always been very insightful. Oh, thank you very much. That's a very nice thing to say. What made you wake up today and decide to risk lethal amounts of cringe at your own hand? Because despite it all, no matter how cringy these comics are, I'm still proud of them and I wanted to share them with people. And this is finally these comics that I put so much effort in. People are finally going to get to read them. And I like that. Do she and I really give off a going out type vibe? Well, she and I are just friends. Why did he say she and I twice? Silly me. I'm making dumb assumptions again. It's always getting me in trouble. Like this one time in my first Spanish class, actually, let me back up here for just a minute. I was trying to strengthen my, and I can't read the rest, it trails off. I have no idea how long Marilyn was talking or what about, but goodness, I loved listening. Ollie, you fucking creep. He's such a fucking douche. Yeah. Why not save this for a cringe corner? Because I like it. Marilyn introduced me to her friends who, despite appearances, weren't wearing costumes. Why not just draw them in costumes? Oboshi, a ninja, Pete, who I hate, and Todd, evidently a giant bat. She pours me my first martini, and this is before I had ever drank, so I didn't know what type of drinks people drink at parties. So it's just they're all sitting around drinking martinis. Oh God, this is the taste of misery. And leaves me alone with creepy Bat Todd. So that's not, the panels read in the wrong order. So you're invisible, huh? Not to me. I got sonar. You must have heard wrong, dude. I'm actually invincible, not invisible. And then he hits him, and I like his lips just go flying off to the side, which is it's fun. Ow. Why the slutty fuck did you do that? I don't know why that is so bold. Why did you tell me you're invincible if you're not? Don't know. That's not really a strong punchline to end that page on. And here's where, so these, from here backwards, all of these comics were just drawn on a sketchbook and then scanned in. With the, like, I had no intention of putting them on a computer. I was just drawing them in my sketchbook. And then from here on out, I was like drawing them with the intention of editing them later. So, yeah. Being invincible does not make me immune to pain. Well, oops. Sorry about your dress, man. I'm going to mingle more. You owe me a new martini. Why? Because you made me spill this one, dude. Martinis aren't red, and you don't put salt on the glass. So, like the joke is, the joke is, I guess, because Marilyn is meant to be a bad cook, so she made him the drink wrong. I don't know what the point of that was. So I ended up looking like a messy transvestite. Very cool 2005 me. As dumb as I look, I try not to let it ruin my night. Hey, Ollie. Seen Marilyn? No, why? Lava men are invading. She has tremendous magical abilities, so I need her help. Oh, okay. I can help. I'm invincible. So? Well, I could help you guys out, because I can't be hurt. Well, yeah, well, no. Thanks, though. Why not? Well, just look at yourself. Look, man, you're like 3 pounds, so you're a little invincible. So what? That doesn't mean you can fight worth half a shit. You can't even keep your dress clean for one night. 2 words. 2 words, man. No dice. Can you do any better? Homo face. Very cool, 2005 me. Very cool. Very cool insult, 2005 me. Love that for you. Actually, yes, I can. I traveled to the far reaches of the earth to train with the great Frisbee masters of the Whammo Monastery to learn to master the mighty disc. Under their expert tutelage, I gained complete mastery of the Frisbee arts. That's all you have? You call my power useless, and all you can do is throw around some stupid fucking plastic toys? You are a fantastic douche. Yeah, I know. Anyway, nice catching up with you, man. I really have to go find Marilyn before the city gets trashed. Listen, if you see her around, could you tell her I'm looking for her and that we're all in extreme danger? You smell like rum, by the way. So is Ollie like a worse kick-ass? No, Ollie is genuinely, literally invincible. Come here, you. Olive, are you superhumanly drunk already? Ollie, you're a great person. I'm lucky to have you for a friend. Lava men are in the... Are you okay? You'll get a girlfriend soon, buddy. Just I need a bucket. Sorry. That's okay. I didn't need my socks to fight anyway. I have to lie down. So, like, in every storyline, because Olive is so powerful, there has to be a reason that she is incapacitated. So in this one, she just gets really drunk really fast and then can't fight anybody. Well, I can probably handle this without Olive and with cold feet. How tough can the lava men be anyway? 10 minutes later. Fuck. They're very big lava guys. And this is the thing I started doing. I started putting a little extra joke at the bottom of each comic, and I will. They're from then on. Genuinely sad for Olive that she considers Ollie a good friend. Yeah. If Olive were actually superhumanly drunk, the sheer force of her vomit would shatter the earth. Stay cool, O'Neill. Try and reason with them. Hey, lava pals. Why y'all got to be invading? Well, filthy cross-dressing human. Love that. Love that 2005 me. Good job. Good work. There are literally billions of reasons. Chiefly, your Surface World fashion magazines promote an unattainable standard of beauty. I think that is still funny. It's that thought balloon goes from terrible to funny pretty fast. Don't bother, Ollie. They won't listen to reason. Oh, hey, Marilyn. Maybe you want to run before they burn you to death? Nah, it's cool. I'm invincible like Superman, except kryptonite wouldn't hurt me, so I'm more invincible than Superman. So you're really a witch? How does that work? Dude, I totally told you not to come. I know that you said that, Pete, but did you know I wasn't listening to you? Because I totally wasn't. Lava men are very body conscious. That doesn't feel like an extra joke. That's just a restating of the initial joke. Excuse me, puny humans, but I don't think you are giving the situation its due gravity. He's right. Man, they are huge. Also, that shouldn't be an apostrophe there. That's the apostrophe that's the apostrophe I missed from earlier. Man, they are huge. Well, go ahead and use your invincibility to stop them. You know what, man? Balls to you. Invincibility is a lot better for brawling with lava men than throwing dainty little frisbees and shit. And furthermore, smush. And see, this is where I get the idea that I am, in fact, trying to make fun of Ollie, because he does have a tiny weenus. I consciously drew his weenus very small. This is how every dream I've had since 1997 has ended. Not true, by the way. You okay? Yeah, my clothes got burned off, you know? Yeah, I know. I was watching. I was naked in front of the girl I liked, and a dude I didn't. It was really, really cold, I thought to myself. Well, at least things can't get any worse, which is about when Marilyn's, quote, martini wriggled his vile way into my guts. And then he throws up. King Mazorgalon said nothing of the naked vomiting transvestites at the summit. Very cool 2005 me. Very cool stuff. Hangs dong in like the 4th issue. This is still the 1st issue. Speaking of being invincible, thoughts on Invincible? I've only read the first trade paperback, and it didn't really grab my attention. And I haven't watched the show, but I hear it's really good. This is gross. Let's bail. The surface world sucks. And then the alt text. So wait a minute. How did Ollie's glasses not get burned off? Because you forgot to draw it. You're not in on the joke, me. You did it, sort of. Yeah, I have to admit it, buddy. I was wrong about you. Very true. I was being a tool too, I guess. He does not realize this. Let's go back and have pancakes. And so, they're done. How does the shirt fit? Oh, yum. Jesus, that used to be food. I think your clothes look better on you. Marilyn thinks burning them makes them a little barbecue flavor. Do you like it? Oh, yes. I'm in no way feeling the urge to retch right now. I don't think I consciously lifted that phrase from The Simpsons, but that is literally word for word stolen from The Simpsons. Well, I'm totally stuffed. Thanks for inviting me tonight, but I think I had to get Olive home. Yes, please, before I lose any more of my costume to the seas of time. Sorry, I'm no fun tonight, buddy. Oh my God, what a night I had. Oh my God, what a night, man. I seriously can't believe I made out with a giant bat. Ugh, I'm going to be picking fruit flies out of my mouth for days. Seriously, ladies and gentlemen, if your parties don't end like this, you have not partied as heartily as you could have. That's not true. This doesn't even seem like a good ending to a party. They're just eating pancakes. This is welcome to issue 2, Psychosexual. Welcome to Coffee Town. May I take your order? I did not know that there was an actual franchise of coffee restaurants called Coffee Town at the time, because I didn't live in Ontario. How big is your 16-ounce coffee? As the name suggests, 16 ounces with room for cream. No, sir, fluid ounces. And Deirdre looks on with some longing in her heart. Similar hours pass. Deirdre, I hate to impose, but it's been a long night. Would you be able to give me a ride home? Like, in my car? Yes, precisely. Also, I like the little detail of because he's been wearing the hat and the hairnet all day. His hair's all squished down. Initially, Deirdre imagined the world's longest piggyback, but she's decided that such thoughts were unladylike. Incidentally, I hope this comic is worth the wait. Doesn't matter. Nobody read it. So there I am, totally nude, fighting lava men. That's so horrible. I mean, because it's embarrassing, not because you're gross or something. Holy shit, Frankenstein is shaking down a mean word for sex worker. Bitch, you best be stepping out of my turf. Very cool 2005 me. Actually, that's Frankenstein's monster, a common mistake. So there I am, totally naked, fighting lava men is the best way to put an end to awkward silences. The dialogue is so naturalistic. Oh yeah, for sure. This is how people talk. Oliver, stop. This is simultaneously crazy and dumb. I can help her, Deirdre. I'm invincible. No, Oliver. It's just that your brain is crazy, which makes you think that you are. Hey, you big, ugly, and probably gay loser. Love it. Mwah. 2005 me. You've done it again. Another one. Ooh. Just how does he do it? How does he do it? Let's dance. Okay. Crunch. I don't know what's crunching here. He's invincible. So I don't know what is crunching. I don't get what it is that you're trying to do here. Are you trying to set the world record for the dumbest thing ever done? The record is actually held by the Fox network. Kid, seriously, just apologize and I'll stop. No, wait, chump. I'm about to make my move. With an extra M for some reason. Whoa, hey, man, easy on the bolts. They're the only thing that keeps... Hey, wow, I actually made my move. Oliver, put that thing down before you get germs from it. No way I will. I'm invincible. I have to keep this so people will believe me. Oliver, there are so many reasons not to do that. Case in point, the horrible stink. Seriously, do you need more than one reason? The cringe is crunchy? Mm-hmm. Oliver, seriously, that thing should not be in my car. Relax, that smell will Febreze right out. Ollie, we have angered God, and he has set a plague of stinks upon us. No, it's just my head here. There are no words to express how angry I am with you for this. Seriously, have you people ever even heard of Febreze? Ever noticed that Deirdre's car has no seatbelts? You just didn't draw it. You could have just drawn it. Mr. Fangs, you gotta understand, this here is an emergency. Dusty Joe, you should not be here at this moment. Sir, it's about Frankie. Someone lifted his head. What? Find this bastard and ice him. Take Chupacabra with you. But boss, that guy's weird. Do it. My highly tuned sense of smell can detect Frankie's scent in this abode, even over the rancid smell of mummy flesh. Rancid smelling, perhaps, but smartly dressed. The Chupacabra is, I would say, another of my favorite characters. He just becomes paired with Dusty Joe forever. They're never apart after this. Choops, you go ahead and get the head. I'll handle the dame. Yes, sir. Oh, content warning. There's an attempted sexual assault in the next page. So just, very cool of me. Very cool 2005 me. Love that. Love that for you. All right, bitch. Dusty Joe wants to see some titties. And then there's a laser coming in from off screen that melts his knife. It's not framed particularly well. And he's like, huh? And you can't really see what he's looking at because the speech bubble's blocking it. And Olive says, next time you plan a breaking and entering rape adventure, you might want to check and see if your victim has fucking laser beam eyes. And then the alt text, excitedness is never an excuse for poor planning. Olive, are you okay? I was in the shower and I heard hollering. Just teaching a mummy's bitch ass some manners. Look out though, the Chupacabra is headed your way. I do love that they say that so casually, just like, yeah, there's a Chupacabra coming for you, you know. Give me the head of Frankie or I shall spit acid upon you. Don't think I can't. I'm the fucking Chupacabra. Jesus, chill out, man. I'll get it for you. This ain't over. We'll be back with more guys. And tanks. Yeah, fucking tanks, man. The Chupacabra can pretty much do whatever he sets his mind to. Yeah, so the monsters are part of they're the principal villains of the comic. They run the Monstrofia, which is in this world the monsters are like because many monsters are evil, they're like an undertreated minority, and thus it mirrors the way like Italians were treated, and that's in this world they formed the mafia instead of Italian people. Come on, Olive, we have to tell them. This is your mess, Ollie. You deal with it. She just doesn't want to go. In this one, how do we get Olive to not fix all these problems? She just doesn't want to. This is your mess, Ollie. You deal with it. I guess it's up to you, O'Neill. As long as I have the drop on them, this should be cake. I really appreciate you carrying me. You'd do the same if I was humiliated by a little girl. Boss, you know the skinny guy is tailing us, right? I know. We're going to murder him. Ollie thinks he is stealthy because he beat the first mission in Metal Gear Solid once by accident. This is a recurring bit that Ollie's attempts at stealth never work. I wouldn't go out there if I were you. Sweet Mighty Christmas. Hey, skanky lady. Very cool 2005 me. Very cool way to say that. Could you maybe not sneak up on me like that? Wait, Deirdre? What are you wearing? Oliver, when you see me in this guise, please refer to me as Mistress Midnight. Are you laughing at me? No. With you. It's just laughing at his friend's face. Why is that weird in this world? Seriously, laughing hurts feelings. We don't have time for this. Listen, we're dealing with the Monster Mafia. This is before I just smush those words together. Think about it, Oliver. Who better to run a mafia than beings no one even thinks exists? Shh, do you hear that? Don't shush me. That's so damn rude. Well, shit. This is the guy, Cousin Bigfoot. Actually, dolphins can run a better mob, or in the very least, a more slippery one. I don't even get that joke. Stay still. Looks like it's just you and me, Yeti wannabe. Prepare to submit to the white-hot fury of Mistress. And then she gets punched. I was doing my thing way before the Yeti. And the Yeti actually credits Bigfoot in his autobiography. What the fuck is with these bricks? These bricks are all kinds of fucked up. What happened? Well, you got knocked out in one punch by Bigfoot, and I was doing all right against the Chupacabra until the mummy snuck up on me and shot me a bunch of times. After that, they pummeled me until they got bored, and then they brought us here and chained us up. Wouldn't it have been funnier to see that? Don't worry, I know a thing or two about being chained up. Click. Sweet Moses, you're creepy. Why is that creepy? That's a sensible skill for a dominatrix to have. Shut up or I'll leave you here. Seriously, Deirdre, don't do that. I need to pee so goddamn bad. First rule of adventuring, bring a bobby pin. That's genuinely good advice. Here's my plan. We bust out and catch them off guard. No, that's a sucky plan. Listen, I'll call my friend Olive on my cell. Hello? Hi, Olive. Can you come and rescue me? Sorry, Ellie, I have important things to do. Bullshit. You're getting high and watching SpongeBob. Well, that's important to me. Seriously, Olive, get over here. Right now. Hello? Hello? Sluts of a bitch. She hung up on me. That's the first of the creative swears, which is... It's ironic given how much this comic leans on them, how much I hate them as an adult. But this is the first one that I've found genuinely funny. Sluts of a bitch is a genuinely funny phrase. That sucks. I'm just going to go and bust out now. Early drafts of the plan were rejected on account of Deirdre not having any fireworks or caps. I don't even get it. I see you went to the Eric Larson School of Drawing Boobs, thought Slim. I went to the school of I was embarrassed to practice drawing them. School of drawing boobs. Still can't draw them to this day, by the way. Anytime a patron with breasts asks me to draw them, you'll notice that they're conveniently cut off right here. So I'm confused. Why didn't you kill the young man? We tried. We emptied 27 rounds into him. I'm telling you, there's more to him than meets the eye. Remember, Deirdre, every monster has a weakness. What about Bigfoot? Well, I know he seems to have it all together. But I got it. Crippling self-doubt. The monster from the Blue Lagoon was agoraphobic. See, now here, this is where I think it is. I am making fun of Ollie. Like, he's meant to be kind of an unlikable character. Because, like, they're talking about, like, there's something to this guy. And then he's saying the dumbest shit possible. Deirdre, do you see a bathroom? No, we should explore for one. Remember to sneak. I know. The slightest noise could give us away. Brrrg. Shit craps. My phone. Hey, Ollie, can I drink one of your Dr. Peppers? And you notice there's a little drawing of Venom on the fridge. How dare you? Hello, Chupacabra. Ollie's jacket is quite slimming on you. These are the types of things which happen when you set your cell phone to make the noise brrrg very loud when you get a call. See, that's a good one. Oliver, I think I'm dying. He's as strong as an ox and hasn't even used his claws yet. Hey, good point. Eek. Oliver, I don't think I can last much longer. Seriously, Olive, you didn't pay for them. Makes the world taste better. I'll kill you. So this is also very out of character for Deirdre because she in later comics is like like supremely competent. She is essentially the Batman of the group. Like, she can do everything and beat everyone at everything. And she's really the only genuinely good superhero in the entire comic. But the joke was always that the women are competent and the men are terrible. So, like, Olive is super powerful, Marilyn's super powerful, Deirdre's incredibly good at fighting crime, and everyone else is just kind of terrible. Man, Olive has no consideration for other people. What were you saying, Deirdre? I did battle with the foulest of beasts and taught him to fear my name. The struggle was vicious, and for a moment I knew what it was to see the grim specter of death. In time, I conquered him, and he will allow us to leave in peace. All right, awesome. Let's go find an all-night diner or something. And so, I'm telling you, the pink sprinkles taste the best. Listen to yourself. I think that is a genuinely good interaction. That just he's like, you can tell how this conversation has gone by him going, listen to yourself. Listen to what you're saying. Oliver seriously does not stand for this kind of nonsense. So, Deirdre, I have a question. Why did you dress up like a dominatrix? Don't you think that gives people the wrong idea? No, why would it? What's wrong with being a dominatrix? Well, like, it's a sex thing. Seriously? This is a nightmare. You didn't know that? I thought it was a myth. Warrior women punishing bad guys with whips and chains. That crazy guy at the bus station was right to call me what he did. He actually called her a busybody, which Deirdre thinks is a sexual term. I think that's genuinely funny. Well, thanks for walking me home. No bigs. I'm also sorry that we didn't really accomplish anything and Frankenstein is probably alive again now. Shit happens. Come to think of it, it's kind of my fault. They saw me coming, my cell phone rang, and I didn't pay attention to what I was doing. Come to think of it, I suck at crime fighting. If you really think about it, nothing in this entire storyline had any narrative consequence. Very cool. And this is a little, I liked to do bonus comics in between storylines. So Todd the Bat presents Spooky Safety. Hi kids, Halloween is a dangerous time of year, but it doesn't have to be. Cover at least 35% of your body with reflective material. This will minimize the likelihood of you getting hit by a Buick. Try to choose a costume which won't get you beaten up. You got a lot of nerve, 2005 me, as though you don't watch Star Trek. Candy will rot your teeth. Avoid eating it at all costs. Ask for pennies or banana chips as an alternative. Do not go anywhere with strangers, even if they offer you a bag of delicious fruit flies. Do not wear sweaters with pictures knitted into them. I vehemently disagree with you, Todd. The spooky safety text was not made using a font. Doesn't it look like it was made using a font? Don't you think? Also, I like the idea that there's this pervert out there specifically looking for a giant bat to trick because he's got a bag full of fruit flies. And welcome to issue 3, Giants of Old. I like the expression they're making, the way they're just like strolling through. I don't know why it's just Ollie and Olive on the cover, because Olive isn't really super involved in this storyline, or indeed any storyline. Good morning, Adventure City. It's going to be another unseasonably warm day. And look out if you're leaving the house today, because dinosaurs have returned to reclaim the Earth. Olive, did you hear about the dinosaurs? No, what about them? They've returned to reclaim the Earth. Really? That's awful. And then in her dream sequence, and Olive O'Grady has won her 3rd consecutive Triceratops rodeo. I love that it's a hot pink Triceratops as well. Special thanks go out to Cadillacs and Dinosaurs for the line, dinosaurs have returned to reclaim the Earth. Don't know why I had to explain that reference. How long did this run and how often did you update it? For 2 years and twice a week. So whatever happened with you and Marilyn? Nothing. I didn't have the nerve to talk to a girl who has seen my junk. Besides, she's out of my league. Man, Ollie, you just need confidence. It can make even the smallest man junk total Spanish fly. No, women want dudes with abs who can play guitar. And that very much is Ollie being unlikable. That is definitely him being a dick. Crunch? What is crunching? He's invincible. Nothing should be able to crunch this man. Oh shit, right, dinosaurs. Also, how big is this fucking T-Rex? How big is his foot? Sincere apologies to Quants.com. Hey asshole, you're treading on my friend. Splurch. And then it falls over onto a school bus. This is why parents should show some initiative and prevent their kids from going to school during the dinosaur uprising. I remember being so proud of this panel and the way the dinosaur's head explodes. Did anyone at your uni read this, or was this a private thing? I very much tried to get people to read it, but no one did. Olive, what's happening? Ollie, I think I might be the usher of death. What? I think I'm death's sexy liaison between this realm and the next. Why? When I exploded the T-Rex, its corpse landed on a school bus and killed a bunch of kids. Who could do something like this? Offhand, I'd say the usher of death. So I still don't know if this joke is funny. I still don't know. 20 years later, I don't know. The joke is meant to be that in the world, there's some kind of folklore about a creature or character called the Usher of Death, and they all treat it as this thing they all know, and it's never explained what it is or what it means. Marilyn is a witch. Who is she to judge people for killing kids? Good point. I know what to do. We need to get to the museum. That place is crammed with dinosaurs. Forget it. You coward. If I get eaten, it's totally your fault. Thanks for the Kleenex, bro. Also, the idea that she gets all of the blood off of herself with a single piece of Kleenex is very funny to me. Do you need a hug? Gay. Very funny. 2005 me. Love that. Love that. Very funny. Good job. Oh, hey, Marilyn. Hey, Olive. Hey, Carlos McTavish. Can either of you guys help me go to the museum? I'm confident that I can. Why are you going to the museum? I need the Necronomicon to summon Cthulhu to eat the dinosaurs. What? Marilyn relies on elder gods to solve most of her problems in life. Well, it's not a perfect plan, but it's all we have. You in, Olive? No, I'm too bummed. Well, let's get going then. Bye, Olive. Feel better. Bye. What's wrong with her? She exploded a T-Rex, which crushed a bunch of kids to death. We should do something nice for her. Do they make a card for this? You'd use sorry to hear about your loss, I think. The little gestures say a lot. And there it is. The only time that Ollie will ever be nice to Olive. Ever again. Adventure City Museum. Maryland. Yes. I don't want to go in. I know. Oh, there's no dinosaurs in here. Or ghosts / haints. Well, this whole affair has been uncharacteristically simple. So do you think... I guess this isn't going to be one of those horribly painful series of events escalating in terror, which seem to happen to me so often. So do you think I should let my guard down? You'd be an idiot not to. Remember, always check a room very thoroughly for haints before entering. I cannot stress this enough. Still true. Still true to this day. Still true. There it is. Also, I love the idea that the Necronomicon is just at the museum. That's I don't know if I intended that as a joke, but I like that as they just put it up on display. Did you just hear something? No, what does it sound like? Hey now. Actually, never mind. I can feel his teeth in my bowels. Stay calm. He's eating my guts. Do a spell or something. I'm finding it difficult to concentrate. Once more for emphasis, teeth in bowels. I don't think this is where the bowels are on a person. I could be wrong on that one. I like that the Velociraptor puts his dukes up. That's funny to me. Don't worry, I think I have a plan. I will exploit the Velociraptor's one weakness. And then he kicks open this case, grabs a flail. Taste the sweet nectar of pain, Dr. Scaly McDeathclaw. Why does he talk like that? This would be a genuinely funny joke if it just weren't for that line of dialogue. I'll exploit the Velociraptor's one weakness, and then he hits it with something. Evidently, a Velociraptor's greatest weakness is a lack of confidence in Ollie's ability to use a Morning Star. I don't think this is a Morning Star. Could be wrong. Thwack? And then he coincidentally falls over into this display full of samurai armor. Also, don't know what section of the museum this is meant to be. So now he's got a samurai helmet and a katana. All right, punk, let's dance. I'm not scared of no samurai sword. And then it immediately goes in his nose. And it says, it pokes my brains. Luckily, the brain has no nerve endings, so this doesn't hurt like it probably should. I think it would still hurt your nose, though. It's a flail, yes. Yeah. Everybody got my friends got mad at me at the time, I remember. Bobby Duke the Bobby, thank you for the gift subs. And I will do the posture check that you have requested. This and only once. Unbeknownst to Ollie, the katana silently pokes the section of his brain that controls confidence. And then he hits the thing in the throat. Wake up, beautiful. Did you kill the raptors? Baby, when you get to know me a little better, you'll see that I can kill any beast I set my mind to killing. But I don't, because I'm gentler than a slur lamb. Don't know why. Don't love that I said that. Don't love that I ever said that word. But there it is. Rendered for all to see. Okay. Would you hold my guts? Sure, baby. No problem. It's only a little guts. You're so sweet. And then they have this one little moment where he's like holding in her guts. And it's meant to be romantic. Holding your intestines in can get extremely tiring. Then she says the traditional spell that revives Cthulhu. I have returned from my slumbers to consume all life. So now what? How do you keep Cthulhu from eating everyone? Oh, right, he does that, doesn't he? City Council put up that billboard to remind people to wear underwear. That's good. I like that. Wait, is he invincible, but he still gets affected by lobotomy? No, he didn't get lobotomized. He just got poked in the area of the brain that controls confidence, so he temporarily gained confidence. Which is foreshadowed earlier when Olive says girls just want someone who's confident. And so then he gets confidence and it doesn't help. And then I still like the way this guy is drawn. I still like him. I like that a lot. Hey, Cthulhu? Close enough. This is because in the actual Cthulhu mythos, humans aren't supposed to be able to pronounce his name. So he's just like so sick of it. Like, why do they even try? Ari, thank you for the super chat. My friend summoned you to kill the dinosaurs currently ruining the earth, not to eat people. Dinosaurs? I detest dinosaurs. Very well, then. I shall cleanse your planet of these beasts with unspeakable ancient magics. Thanks, man. You may thank me when your species is digesting for eons in my eternal sinews. I don't think that something digests within the sinews. Fetishware and cakes are Adventure City's main exports. So the three buildings, Fetish Town, a cake store, and pet funerals. Which is a joke I think I would make today. Eating my species is pretty low, you asshole. Foolish insect. Allow me to phrase this in a way you will understand. Tough titties. You asked for it. Insignificant mortal. You cannot harm an elder god. Oh, what's this? A gentle breeze? Haha, pathetic. Exactly 5 minutes later. The sun? Shit! Cthulhu says he wears the Speedo because he lives underwater, but no one really buys it. I'll tell you why Cthulhu wears that Speedo. It's because this is around the time I started reading Achewood. That's true. Maybe his sinews work differently and they digest stuff. It's possible. Man, Ollie, just make your move. She's going to think you're a pussy or perhaps a gay. Very cool. 2005 me. Love that. Love that. I got him again. I'm so sorry, Bobby. What are you apologizing to me, Ollie, about? For dooming the earth. Oh, that's okay. Come on, O'Neill, just make your move. Do you think I'm ugly and fat and dumb and big-nosed? Hell no, baby. You're aces. I genuinely like the expression she's making here. Whoa, when Ollie wants to be smooth, he thinks, what would the mask do? See, that's a good joke. When questioned about the Army's failure during the dinosaur uprising, Minister of National Defense Bill Graham said only, fucking dinosaurs, before weeping openly. Man, I'm having the best damn day. They gave me the key to the city after I killed Cthulhu. Did you know that it comes with $10,000, a $10,000 prize? Thanks for the subway. Sure, how'd it go with Marilyn? Well, first she got her guts all torn out by this raptor, so I killed it, right? And then I felt really confident, so I tried my moves. And she looked all into me. I mean, she gave me the flirty eyes, right? Well, anyway, it wasn't flirty eyes. She was just all woozy from the blood loss. So I played it off like a joke, but she still seemed really nervous about it. So I told her I had a great time, but I had to go, and I found a public washroom to cry in. Okay, well, that isn't what you should have done. That is a situation which should end in banging, not tears. In a better world, all situations would end in banging, not tears. Beautiful thought, perhaps. Not true. Issue number 3, no bonus comic between these two, weirdly enough. Hazardous materials. Look at that. Look at that Feast of Flesh font. Look at that. She literally had her guts out. This is a recurring joke with Marilyn, that her physiology, she does not require guts. They're up to something. Who? The Monstrafia. Whoa, excuse me? The Monstrafia is a myth and a dangerous stereotype. Why I oughta... No, Francis, don't fan the flames of hate. This character, Francis's partner, is based on a friend of mine. Sir, I assure you, I am no bigot. I understand that not all monsters are in the mob. Do you have any idea how hard it will be for my kids to go to a good college? Actually, most Ivy League schools are very progressive in terms of monster rights. I don't know if this is my joke to make, but I made it in 2005. Ghost Dunk, thank you for the subscription. Also, I do like that I took the time to write everybody's name on their name tag. Just look. The fuckers are importing zombies? Not just zombies. Highly precise Swiss zombies with no natural predators in Adventure City. We'll definitely need help on this one. Meanwhile, think about this long and hard, Olive. Drinking a third bottle of NyQuil will keep you asleep for days. But what do you have to do with your time? Oh, please, everything looks suspicious in a file folder like that. The phrase, highly precise Swiss zombies is very funny to me. And again, I did the thing with the hair. It was a nice little touch, I think. Oliver, I'm not very good with meeting people. Well, we need Olive's help if we're going to. Oh, for fuck's sake, it's the NyQuil again. Deirdre, can you try to wake up Slut Nuggets? Very cool, 2005 me, very cool. While I catch a shower? Well, I guess I could try, but I don't do well with people. Thanks. If I wake up Olivia, she'll be mad at me. But if I don't, Oliver will be mad at me. Why do I screw up everything? I'm so stupid. Everybody hates me. I'm going to die alone, and I'll never have everyone. And everyone else probably is going to sue me for being so ugly and useless. It is vital to the relationship between Ollie and Olive that he knows with one look whether or not her unconsciousness is induced by NyQuil. Presumably, he'd know she had a cold. Couldn't wake her up, eh? No, I tried and everything. Yeah, she's hard to get up when she's like this. Wearing the old dominatrix costume still. Well, I figured I already have a persona. It's a waste of time to make a new one. And actually, this is a new costume with... Oh, right, cool. Cool? I'm going to call some people and see if I can wrangle up some help. Take on the Monstralphia? Sure, beats what we're doing. All right, Todd. For the green, what Japanese city hosted the 1996 Winter Olympics? Olympics? Can you spell that? I get that it's the joke, but I just feel so bad for Deirdre. Yes, Deirdre is the only, I would go so far to say, the only sympathetic character. The new Mistress Midnight suit is bulletproof, harder to see at night, and 10% sluttier. Very funny, 2005 me, haha, hee hee, haha. Good joke. Love that for you. Love that you're saying that word. So are you sure your friends are coming? It's cold and I'm sick of waiting. Yeah, you should have worn clothes. I do love the seagull here. There's a very Homestar Runner vibe on that seagull. I'm guessing she was going to be a secret love interest for Ollie. They do end up dating, but the plan, I didn't get to the end of that story, but the end of the story was always meant to be her, like, realizing he treated her like shit and breaking up with him. Ollie, I'm serious. Are your friends even showing up? Jesus, I don't know, Deirdre. I'll call Aboshi and see if he's left yet. Oh, sorry, man. We decided to go to Wendy's. All right. Well, apparently they decided to get high and go to Wendy's. Oliver, I don't know what these people are telling you, but if they're addicted to drugs, they aren't your friends. This dominatrix stands for good old-fashioned family values. I go, Deirdre, no, out loud every time she visibly crushes on Ollie. You don't need him, Deirdre. He needs you. Oh, he only gets worse to her, too. Well, everything seems in order. This be me last job for ye. I be going legit. Boss, should I be all breaking his legs? Think about that, Frankie. Well, I guess we're promoting violence if he's a ghost. What is a pirate ghost's weakness? Before today, I would have said an unquenchable lust for doubloons, but evidently, the answer is regret. Frankie is very concerned about whether or not he makes a good role model for young people. I had a lot of fun with this pirate drawing, I think. Pillbug Hug, thank you for the subscription. Malloy, thank you as well. You know, just because you have a clipboard doesn't make you my supervisor. No, it doesn't. Very astute. I've actually become your supervisor through hard work and frightening levels of intelligence. And that, my friend, is why I have a clipboard. That's it. Give me that. No, it's confidential. And then on the page, this one I won't give myself a finger wagging for. It says, Dusty Joe, homosexual. And it's because the joke is on the chupacabra, I would argue, in this scene. He is trying to discern this about Dusty Joe. Dusty Joe says, consider your ass cursed. The clipboard was actually free with the purchase of 2 packages of loose leaf at Kmart. Merry Christmas, or alternative equivalent. To a job well done. Don't get cocky, Frankie. There's a fella staring at us from the skyline over yonder. Kablonk? You might want to read the note I attached to that. Sure, kid. This frisbee explodes. It's very funny to me, the idea that it's going to explode anyway, but you want them to know in advance. Johnny Fangs can hear what Pete says because vampires have super hearing, I guess. Boom. And I like that he's just holding they're still fighting about the clipboard. And then one of the Swiss Miss zombies gets out of the crate. Facts. Explosions look exactly like egg yolks. If I make fun of the art, then no one else can do it. So what do you think exploded, detective? Not sure, Jim. Ah, Christ, something's biting my organs. As I suspected, an exploded zombie is afoot. Well, let's get going. We've got a lot of paperwork to do. I never thought I'd see an exploding zombie in my first night on the beat. That's life on the street, Jim. The detective figured it was an exploding zombie because exploding mermaids prefer warmer climates. The Adventure City Police Department was one of my favorite figures of fun, as it were. I don't know if I actually have the comic where they introduce Officer Bumblecrumbs, who is the guy in charge of arresting all the supervillains, and it's why they keep escaping. And it's just this guy who just doesn't know what he's doing. And in his holster, he has an ice cream cone, and he keeps licking his gun. Well, I didn't fancy our odds, but here we are with a neatly stacked pile of unconscious monsters. Lucky for us, the dock exploded, seemingly without cause. Let's blow. The police can handle it from here. Really believe in the abilities of the police, 2005 me, huh? We make a pretty tight team. We'll probably get a zillion medals. Hey, do you hear shovels and moans? Yeah, it almost sounds like exploding zombies. I guess exploding zombies are just a thing in this world. Also, one of the zombies in the back, friend of mine, who was actually in the chat earlier, asked me to draw him in the comic. So I drew him as one of the zombies, and he was just like, that isn't what I wanted. I wanted to be a superhero. Why can't life ever be easy? Why can't I ever just get a zillion medals? Ollie makes a point. No more comics until I get a zillion medals. Luckily, I got them. Oliver, what are you doing? Let's just say I'm taking out the trash. Throws the trash can against the window and it just bounces off harmlessly. This is what I mean. He just never gets to look cool, ever. Everything he does, he always gets embarrassed. It does make sense that they'd have tight security at loaded Uzi surplus. It's the first place I'd go. Dude, listen, I have to go. I accidentally started the zombie apocalypse. Seriously, man, we're in a cave. You have to help me bail on this one. Danger, incendiary frisbee. I don't know why I spelled frisbee this way. I feel like it was because I knew that frisbee was a copyrighted term, but you're not fooling anybody. I'll call you back. Jesus Christ, what have I gotten myself into? All right, man, a bunch of doobs, a bowl of maggots, and a DVD of Highlander. It'll be a fun night. Maggots? Aboshi, do not consume us. Eboshi, all flesh dies. We are eaters of all flesh. Eboshi, we breathe nightmares. I'm not sure that bats even eat maggots, but I know for sure the giant bats do. That's a good one. Oliver would own every Funko Pop. Oh, for sure. For sure, for sure, for sure. Flump. I like that. I like that sound effect. Boom. Very fucking dramatic anime-ass explosion. You know, you shouldn't stand so close to a live incendiary frisbee, man. My bad. Pete refrained from adding, I never really liked that jacket on you anyway. I'm pretty sure that at this point, I never draw him with that jacket again. He has consistently worn a pea coat before this, which is very 2005. But I don't think he ever wears it again. Oh no, oh no. I lost my place. Hold on. This vacillates between being insufferable and being kind of genuinely funny. I would argue, I think it gets funnier over time. I find my voice eventually. It never quite gets good, but it gets close. Whoosh, and there's a zombie clown, because there's always a zombie clown in every zombie movie. Bitches. I know you like to collect heads, so I saved this for you. Thanks. Olive is just not going to understand this. She doesn't like it when Ollie brings home heads, I guess is the joke there. Well, this has been a tight adventure. I sure hope I got all of the zombies. I'd hate to be responsible if one got away. You're not sure? Maybe we should go back. No, I'm pretty sure I got them all. Meanwhile, by the harbor front... Capital bollocks. I've dripped catsup onto my fine attire. Confound this delicious but treacherous Canadian dish. I hasten to add that there is nothing worse that could befall me tonight. The British gentry have never had an easy relationship with hot dogs. And this is the zombie based on my friend. It's gonna bite him up and down. Thank you for the ride, Peter. Sure. So, Ollie, I didn't know you were into the whole dominatrix type stuff. I'm not. Neither is Deirdre. I'm not, man. I'm no fetishist. Do I look like the kind of guy who wears diapers and wants to be a giraffe? No, I guess not. But strictly from a Freudian perspective, it's pretty interesting that that's where your mind immediately went. Looking at something from a Freudian perspective is a very academic way of saying looking at something incorrectly. That undercuts the whole joke. The whole joke is that he said something very specific. Where did that come from, bud? Oh, thank God, Pete, you're finally here. Maggots. There were maggots. Hey, you know, Eboshi, you really should have been there. A ninja fighting zombies? How awesome could that have been? Yeah, you'd be all like, slice, whoosh, and then you'd see the zombie of the guy who murdered your sensei, and then the shit would really go down. Yeah, guys, because that's all ninjas do is fight zombies and pirates and robots and Batman all day. We're just badass, merciless killing machines who are never gifted poets. It was a very 2005 joke. Initially, I was going to have him say, whoever heard of a ninja dentist, but I thought it would be too similar to Dr. McNinja. Don't name drop better webcomics in your webcomic. It's just going to remind people they could be reading that instead. Ollie, come check out what's on TV. There was a minor zombie apocalypse downtown, and these nuts are claiming it was some sort of nonviolent protest. Leave it to the human conservative news media giant to demonize this kind of activism. Sometimes I think human society will never accept us. Cowards. You look all exploded. I feel exploded. Why did you have to go back to NyQuil? Because I'm weak. Current mood? Exploded. Current music? Love Shack, the B-52s. I told you Love Shack would be back. Something unspeakably horrible in the sub-basement. This is where I think the jokes start to pay off a bit more. Ollie, this is the most terrible foe we've ever faced. Who would have thought such hilarious and entertaining antics would lead to an ending you can't afford to miss? Viewer discretion advised due to a teat. And that teat coming right up. Get ready for a teat. Knock, knock, knock. Oh, for Christ's sake. I evict you. 1 week. Pydor, man, what the shit? It's too early in the morning for this kind of thing. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You're tramp, your roommate is nerd, I evict you. You're seriously only giving us a week to leave this apartment? That's so crappy, man. We can't possibly spend time turning as many tricks as possible is my advice. Now button up robe. I see your slutty nipple and vomit fills me. Stop insulting me, okay? I don't make fun of your immigranty Yoda speak. And there, I think the joke is that Olive is thoughtless. Not, this wasn't me taking a shot at immigrants. Olive prides herself in her restraint regarding how funny immigrants speak. Yawn. Olive, do I see dozens of pancakes? No, Ollie. Hundreds. If I didn't know better, I'd swear you had an agenda. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Luckily, I know better. Also, by eating them, you waive your right to be upset that we're being evicted in a week. And I think this is a genuinely good punchline. Of just him just like hanging there slack-jawed with a big thing of pancakes. Like he had this big stack and then he got down to this far in the time it took her to say that. This is the same method Olive uses to break up with people. Six days later. Man, there has to be something here. Oh shit, it's past 9 o'clock. We're so royally butt-fucked. Oh shit. Come on, there has to be something. Olive, there are no apartments in the paper. What are we going to do? And that's a sign of the time. Where do you look for apartments? Well, you go to the newspaper, obviously. First, you should calm down. But, Ollie, relax. I'm confident that something will come along at the last minute. We're about to be homeless. You have to start taking this seriously. Ring, ring. Could you hold on for a second? Hello? Hey, Eboshi. What? Yeah, we are. Awesome, sure. Okay, including utilities? See you tomorrow, then. The moral of the story is that no matter how irresponsible you act, things will always work out perfectly. Also, a little drawing of House MD as Batman in the background. I was just proud of that drawing. And Ollie's wearing a shirt that says science fiction. I think that is a genuinely good joke. He's just repping the concept of science fiction. Hey guys, welcome to the place. This place is huge and so damn nice. And this looks like such a stupid house. Eboshi, how did you find a place like this for so cheap? If you want a roommate relationship to go smoothly, you can never ask that type of question. And I like that there's like a lighting effect when they go in. It gets darker. Storyline hint. It's not just that Eboshi is a great bargain hunter. Well, I mean, they know why, because the title of the story is There's Something Terrible in the Sub-Basement. Here's your room, Ollie. And look at that. Look at that. A certain sensibility developing here. This pipe full of ooze. I figured you could have the drafty one because you can't get a cold anyway. And there's no fire alarm in here, so it's imperative that you scream if there's a fire. Good thing you're invincible, hey buddy? Oh yeah, lucky me. That night, I can't believe I'm actually sleeping in this smell hole. I just know I'm going to wake up to mice happily chewing on my eyes or something. Oliver O'Neill, we smell your flesh. We shall soon rise to rend it from your bones. That's probably the wind. The wind is probably also casting that eerie red glow from the vent. Don't know really why he's sleeping in a sleeping bag. Presumably he had a bed that he would have, unless his previous apartment, I guess, was partially furnished. Because you see Olive like holding the couch in the previous page, so... Also, we put you in the room where voices threaten to rend your flesh from your bones because we figured your flesh is unrendable. And then he's drinking coffee. Hey man, can I get in on that coffee? Jesus fuck, no, not my flesh, okay? Oh, hey Eboshi, go ahead. Something wrong, man? No, not really. I just didn't get much sleep because this creepy voice threatened to rend my flesh from my bones. Probably your imagination. There's nothing in the sub-basement. I didn't say anything about the sub-basement. What? Well, just 1 second. Hold on. I'll explain everything. Poof. Sucker. Oh, shit. Sorry. Wrong capsule. Repoof. Repoof is genuinely funny. Come on. You got to give me that. Repoof is funny. If Ollie weren't invincible, Eboshi would have just cleaved him in twain. Eboshi is like just a maniac. He's just not friends with anybody. Eboshi doesn't know who he's dealing with. He has greatly underestimated my sneakiness. Also, I like that it's a bike lock, of all things. Minutes pass and Ollie discovers that lockpicking is actually pretty hard. Maybe spending 10 minutes playing Splinter Cell didn't prepare me for this. Deirdre knows how to pick locks. Hey, Deirdre, you're looking pretty. I'm what? What are you doing later? Wait, pretty as in attractive? Do you want to maybe hang out after work? Calm down. Make sure he's not joking. Sure, Oliver. Maybe we could watch Muppets. I have Muppets on DVD. He's just manipulating her. Like, what a piece of shit. What an asshole. Like, he's consciously manipulating her. Yeah, you know, we could watch Muppets, sure, but you know what else is fun? Picking locks. This is my humble abode, if you will. I will. So I'm just gonna grab the DVD and freshen up a little. All right, no rush or anything. He and I are gonna watch Muppets now. Meow. You are, of course, correct, Stuart. A night like this calls for the utmost in fine attire. I shall have to wear the dress. This place is kind of creepy. I think that Precious Minutes figurine is making eyes at me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I wish she would hurry up. Do I look all right? Well, to be honest, you look pretty much exactly like Sandra Dee. He noticed. Also, that is actually how the Muppets DVD case looks. Deirdre is the only person in the world who would respond well to that comparison. I'm not certain that's true. Shit, my roommates must be throwing a party or something. I can't sneak with that many people around. A party? And then she just looks away in terror. Just like scared for her life. Glug, glug. I like that he's got a tube because he doesn't want to take off his mask. So he puts a tube from the beer into his mask. It's a nice little joke. Hell yeah, those are some mad chugs, Holmes. Suck that tube like babies suck nipples. Why do they talk like that? Ollie, you brought a girl home? Do you intend to dick her? No. Do you know what they call this giant bats? Presumably because you are very big bats. That's not it. It's because of our dicks. I'm not the type of girl who knows about that type thing. Just the idea that she doesn't know if that's a normal thing to say. So she's just like, I don't know about dicks. If your intention is indeed to dick this girl, proceed to high-five me. That's Olive speaking, not me. Listen, man, it's easy to do the pleasure of woman. See, the cooch is like a flower. Flock? I could have just killed you and I'm not even sorry. I legitimately think that is a funny line of dialogue. Just remember to wash your hands later. You dropped your appletini. She'd better clean that up tomorrow between pukes. Hey, Ollie, want a white Russian? No, Pete. I'm a dude. You never fucking had a drink in your life, 2005 me. Don't act like you're better than a white Russian. Fucking weirdo. Not even going to read the alt text. I do not acknowledge this white Russian bit. Do you mind? I'm shirtless. Sorry, which way to the bathroom? Answer quickly. Down the hall and to the left, but I should warn you, it's pretty Thanks. Oh, his toilet is almost too dirty to vomit in. Yeah, it's been kind of a point of contention in the house over who ought to clean the bathroom. Blarch? Here, let me hold back your braids. I wouldn't have thought a thin girl could do that. I should state clearly for the record that this joke refers to the quantity of Marilyn's vomit. It is not a really crass bulimia joke. Bulimia is not spelled that way. That's a unnecessary clarification. I don't know if anyone would have jumped to that conclusion. Huh. Well, I guess this teaches you the price of drinking too much, huh? Why, this is the girl you like. Why would you say that? I only had one daiquiri. Daiquiri. That's the drink she had. At a party, she had a daiquiri. Only one. Fucking... I just had never drank, so I didn't know. I only get this sick around evil magic. And then he gets the dramatic anime eyes. What did you think would happen when you challenged Eboshi? Deirdre, do you still have your costume? I keep a spare in my glove compartment. Get it, put it on, and meet me downstairs. My controller's busted, I think. I'm not entirely comfortable with you playing so poorly in my house. They're holding like little GameCube controllers. Dude, here's a Frisbee. Meet me and Deirdre. We're going down to the... And then he opens up his shirt and he's got a Frisbee in a holster. There's one factory on Earth that makes Frisbee holders, and boy, were they happy when they received Pete's order. Me, Pete, and Deirdre are going to fight some kind of monsters in the sub-basement. You in? Lynch? Hell yes, motherfucker. I'm about ready to kick a million asses. If it weren't for this stupid party, Oliver and I would be gaily watching Muppets and potentially holding one another with affection. Goddamn, this party is a sausage fest. And then he sees her changing in the car. Ha, giant dick. I just knew that line would make the ladies jump dump. Todd thinks he is the first person to think of telling a woman he has a giant dick. This is a funny little character detail. He's just like, wait, what if I told her I have a big dick? Man, I have no idea what's taking Deirdre so long. Ooh, kinky girl wants a ride on the giant-dicked bat. About 30 seconds later. Have you learned the importance of proper word choice yet? About 5 minutes later. This is getting annoying. About 15 minutes later. Okay, I'm here. What's going on? Where have you been for the past 25 minutes? Oh, the weirdest thing happened. Your friend Todd slipped and fell down and needed a ride to the hospital. The whole time, he spoke of how he wouldn't be able to remember the details correctly tomorrow. Concussions, you know? Todd is very lucky he didn't say, kinky girl wants to bang the giant bat. Oliver, how badly do you want to get past this door? I don't know. Very badly, I guess. Badunk. She just grabs his head and smashes the lock. This is what I'm saying. Like, Deirdre is portrayed in this comic as just like no nonsense. When she puts on the costume, she's just like, yeah, I'll just use his head to smash open the lock. So earlier when she was losing a fight to the Chupacabra, it just wasn't in character. This is the most terrifying and surprising thing I have ever seen. So many terrible things happen to this comic on its journey from my brain to your eyes. I don't even know what that means. Also, I like that it's just this huge panel that takes up a bunch of room so that you don't get to find out what's in the sub-basement for another comic. Please, God, tell me that was a hallucination from head trauma. What? No. These horrible terrors are not going away, people. Let's get ourselves together and fight them off or die trying. We have already passed the Rubicon. You're right, Deirdre. May I suggest you sling this with foolish bravado, tempered by terror-induced caution, of course. Suggestion noted. All right, you unbelievably terrible horrors. Let's dance. This is the worst decision anyone has ever made at any time in human history. Tomorrow, you probably won't find out what's in the sub-basement. While our heroes get ready for the battle of their lives with an unspeakable and as of yet mysterious foe, let's pause for a moment to casually tolerate the wacky adventures of El Chupacabra. Good news for all you Chup heads. I had the strangest dream the other night. I can barely remember. I was walking through the grocery store looking at oatmeal. I don't eat a lot of solid food, so that was strange. Is oatmeal a solid food? All of a sudden, I'm surprised by a former lover. She shows me a child I'd fathered. He reaches for me with tiny hands. Papa, he screams, and my heart swells with joy. I called her that night. Her voice sounded so cold and robotic over the phone. Suddenly became aware of my own mortality. Also, I really wished goats could talk. Goddamn, that's so wacky. What a wacky thing to happen. At the time, I remember being so proud of the Venetian blinds. So does he eat goats? Does he have sex with goats? Ollie, in the extremely likely event of my death, tell the people my story. All right, I don't get it. I mean, these things are scary, but they're not that scary. Why are you acting like it's the end of the world? Deirdre didn't grow up in Adventure City. She doesn't know the old stories. She couldn't possibly understand. While the rest of the nation dealt with Hitler's armies, Adventure City fought a far greater threat. Thousands died. Those who lived knew well to fear these creatures. Just one of them had laid waste to the Adventure City Guard. I can't pull the pin on my grenade with only one arm. We're doomed. The weapons of man were useless. Adventure City has a thriving insurance industry. I like, it's just, the weapons of man are useless. You just hand the grenade to the other guy. But he's just like, I can't, nothing will work. Chupacabra literally means goat sucker. Yes, I know, that's the joke. You have found the joke. Congratulations. And now the unicorns have returned to reap a terrible revenge upon mankind. At last, after dozens of years, we're free. It's time to conquer Earth. Meanwhile, snort, pie sauce, chip, dedicated to the memory of Machiko Soka. I think I'd always planned to have them say that, but the woman who played the original Rita Repulsa died shortly before this comic was released, so that's why it's dedicated to her memory. Oof. Oif. All right, now this is happening. Pathetic. All right, motherfuckers, I fought a velociraptor with a katana. I'm not scared of you. Think of it this way. A velociraptor with a katana is like an angry house cat. Comparatively, we're more like airborne Ebola sodomizing a hydrogen bomb. Why would that make it more dangerous? Imagine airborne Ebola having to go to counseling and his therapist is like, we'll continue this session when you stop shifting attention away from your problems by melting my innards. Tell me, humans, is this your champion? Oh, wisest ancients, I know that it is forbidden, but my disc must be true and my foe must be vanquished. Bestow upon me the blessing for the use of the world's deadliest frisbee technique, the wrath of 7 hells. Whiz-clank. This cannot be. The use of the wrath of 7 hells is considered a war crime in most developed nations. Developed nations is not a term you should be using. Come on, 2005 me. It's not very based of you. The Blanc. I still really enjoy the sound effects. These unicorns are flesh and blood. They can be overpowered and they can be destroyed. All that holds you back is your fear, people. This presents a unique opportunity. 1 hour later. Smell that. That's some fine gumbo. Judging by how easily her jaw came off, I'd wager the meat should be very tender. Just the leg just sticking out. Like, they don't even bother to, like, get the meat off of the leg. They just stick it in. It's easy to overcome your social phobias when you come together to slaughter and consume adorable unicorns. True. Say something, O'Neill. This is the moment to strike. So, how are your bowels doing all right these days? Are your bowels doing all right these days? Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you. Witches don't actually need bowels. Mine are for show. For show. Like, in case anyone checks. That raptor can have them. I don't digest things anyway. Yeah, nice try, but about 16 gallons of vomit beg to differ. Seriously, our bodies convert food into candies magically. Most of that vomit was actually cotton candy. Then Eboshi, I don't know what this means. He looks down at the toilet and it's just full of cotton candy. Eboshi struggles with the higher meaning of a toilet half full of cotton candy. Guys, have you been in the sub-basement? Oh, for Christ's sake. Chill out, man. Enjoy the spread. Damn it, you guys. I might have just lost a really important client thanks to you. I've got a phone call to make. Fuck you guys, seriously. I understand. I understand that that if your friends are as mentally delayed as you say, it's hardly their fault. No, 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 you should probably continue to live in the house. Otherwise, this could draw attention to my organization. You have never heard of the Tengu Yakuza. Featuring Rip Torn as the highly forgiving Tengu Yakuza leader. Because if the mafia is monsters, then it would be Japanese monsters in the Yakuza, right? Is perfect logic. This is a guest comic that my friend who was dating the creature from the Black Lagoon in the comic, he drew this. Man, I went to that new pet store out by the airport today. Yeah, how'd that go? They got one of those Vietnamese pigs crammed into a cage smaller than your dick. Your small dick. Broke my heart. Teared me up, serious. Tragic, man, tragic. We should liberate it. Yes, man, totally. Sometime later. So what should we do with Clover? I've named him Clover. Let's throw him off an overpass. Yes, dude, so yes. Eboshi? Yeah? You're my best friend. Genuinely funnier than... It's just completely outclassed me in my own home. So, you didn't want to watch Muppets then? Oh, right, Muppets. Well, I forgot that we don't have a DVD player set up. We could watch it at my place. I'll bake you some muffins. Muffins that we can eat together while we laugh. Oh, okay, yeah, that sounds okay. So yeah, then she kind of touched my chest. I'm about 70% sure that makes her my girlfriend now. Well, yeah, if she's baking you muffins, I think it's pretty obvious that she is. Are you joking? I'm coming to you for real. I need some advice here. No, I'm not. Muffin baking is what second base is. Don't you know anything? No, it's not. No way. Ollie, I've had mad boyfriends, all right? Don't tell me what is and is not a base. Yeah, but muffin baking isn't really a sexual thing. Yes, it is. It is because it is second base. Essentially what I'm saying is that bakers are whores. Problematic stuff aside, it's actually hella impressive how fleshed out these characters are and how many pages were finished. Yeah, I think the characters all have a strong voice as the comic goes on. It starts off, they all kind of sound the same, but eventually they all kind of become different. Yawn, click. Why is this bugs me that he's closing it with the fingernail on his finger. He's clicking the light switch with the fingernail on his finger rather than turning his hand. No one would do that. I'm now looking forward to cleaning up unicorn entrails and candy vomit all day tomorrow. He goes to bed. And there's a unicorn at the window. The end. Also, I was and remain pretty proud of how I conveyed this window. It's a well-conveyed window. Now, here we go. This story, get ready, because this is as based as the comic gets. Okay? This one's based. But there's probably still a lot of problematic stuff in it, so just get ready for that. Double cupping cost this company almost $20,000 last year. If you double cup without being explicitly told to do so by a customer, it will henceforth be considered a theft. This was a genuine thing they told us at Tim Hortons. Because everybody wanted 2 cups on the thing because they used these shitty cardboard cups. And it was too hot on your hand. So every time you handed someone a coffee without double cupping it, they'd be like, this sucks. Give me another cup, asshole. Man, I want to go home. This is total bullshit. Why didn't they tell us ahead of time when they do these meetings after a shift? Oh shit, Dave is looking at me. He's looking at me and he's mad that I know he's full of shit. God damn it, why do I always have to know when people are full of shit? Hey O'Neill, is you listening to me? This is part of your job. You is better be listening. This is how a boss I had actually spoke, is why he talks like this. Say no, man. It'll be stone cold hilarious. Say no. I'm listening, Dave. No, you isn't. Why don't you reevaluate whether you want to work for this company if you don't care about the rules? Damn, I should have said no. So, did you maybe want to go on patrol? I have never needed to fight some crime so badly in my life. I know how you feel. So do you like my new glasses? I got them on discount because the girl kept laughing when I tried them on. Imagine how funny it would have been if Ollie had said no. He's just psyching himself up to say it. I am so ready to kick a bunch of asses tonight. There's a man being held by gunpoint. Perhaps you should jump down onto his attacker. Well, that'd really hurt. Who cares if we hurt him? He's a criminal. No, I meant fuck balls. Fuck balls is such a cringy phrase. Last chance to hold my hand or I'll shoot you. I'm not into men, though. It's not fair. It's not a gay thing. Grow up. Skalunk. And then he's just like thrilled. He's over the moon. Yay! I don't have to hold his hand anymore. Arguing that a course of action might hurt will rarely dissuade a dominatrix from taking it. The glasses are cute. They are cute. Everybody's mean to Deirdre, but she's so nice. Did this guy ask for 2 medium-sized ice cubes? The ice cube man does make a cameo later in this story, but he doesn't ask for the ice cubes. That went well, don't you think, Ollie? I can see how it might appear that way from the perspective of someone who wasn't just thrown off of a building. Yes. You sound mad. Are you mad? You threw me off a mother-shitting building. I understand that you were upset, Oliver, but I don't really appreciate all that cursing. When I get upset, sometimes I like to imagine I'm friends with a penguin that listens to my problems. Did you want to try that? We're fighting now, I hope you know that. Well, it can be any animal. It could be a turtle if you want it. Turtles are good listeners. I could be your turtle. Hey, yeah, turtles would make good friends because they're too throwed to slow you off of a fucking building. If Deirdre had said bonobo, she might have won Ollie over, but Deirdre would never. Bonobos jerk off a lot is the joke there. I don't know if that reads. Fucking building. What do turtles have to do with anything? Ollie, Coffeetown called. Want you to work tomorrow. Olive. P.S. I owe you 2 crossed out. 4 Dr. Peppers. Boshi, don't leave your shurikens in my room. Ollie. Yeah, like that's happening. Shoot off their mouth at me and expect me to work extra shifts. That's weird. I didn't leave my lights on. Maybe Oliver or Boshi were in here. And then the door closes and the chupacabra is behind it. Stay awake for one moment, O'Neill. There's something I simply must tell you. While I was waiting for you to come home, I broke into your cupboard and ate all of your Cheetos and drank most of your Crystal Light. Sanchez, please, rescue me with your sexy muscles. I can't. My arms are suddenly baguettes. O'Neill, wake up. What? What's going on? You have been brought to my castle. I wish to make it abundantly clear you are in no danger. I wish to engender a feeling of trust with you, O'Neill. We will soon have a common enemy. I trust, then, that I will be reimbursed for the full cost of 3/5 of a bag of Cheetos? Also, the little Katie Holmes on the monster holding Marilyn. Dude just got kidnapped by a vampire. He's concerned about his Cheetos. Yes, that is the joke, 2005 me. Believe me, I was greatly disturbed to hear about the disrespect paid to your Cheetos. Needless to say, when you go home, a new bag will await you. Is there anything else you need to become comfortable? Coffee, wine, a concubine perhaps? 2 concubines and a coffee, black, dark roast if you have it. 3 minutes later. So, what was it you wanted, Fangs? I'm glad you ask. Did you know, Oliver, that your employer, Coffeetown, has been stockpiling arms for the past 3 months? Why do you think that might be? Sorry, didn't hear you. Some hot as hell bitches had their tongues in my ears. Now, I don't remember who, but I stole that joke. I don't remember. That was a joke someone made, I think, on Something Awful. Hot as hell bitches have their tongues in my ears. I did not write that. I think I stole that. The vampire slur for sex worker kind of liked him, but the Frankenstein slur for sex worker wonders where her life went wrong. Note how older Coffeetown adverts promote a sense of friendly togetherness. The company has spent billions marketing themselves as a cornerstone of Canadian culture. Why would they do this, O'Neill? For 2 reasons. Firstly, this allows them to hide their unethical business practices with jingoist nationalism. And secondly, so that people would associate nationhood with their organization, making a coup d'estate, I think I meant coup d'etat, all but child's play. Are you suggesting Coffeetown plans to overthrow the Canadian government? No. Look at their new ads. Note a more commanding tone. That's the first one's enjoy your mornings with us, and this one is always enjoy your mornings with us. Coffeetown isn't planning to take over Canada. They have already begun. Medicare is to be replaced with 20 free donut holes on your birthday. You needn't believe me just yet, but I would greatly appreciate a man on the inside. Simply consider it. The whole thing sounded plenty crazy, but he seemed pretty spooked, and I expect that it takes a whole lot of shit to spook a vampire mafia don. I decided to cautiously monitor the situation. And the card says, Johnny Fangs, independent contractor, not some sort of vampire. Fangs took the liberty of laundering my jacket. He referred to the blood splattered on it as a poor vintage. My back still hurt from being thrown off a building, but it went fast because I had a lot to think about. And you'll notice in the background there's a black helicopter, subtly foreshadowing that Fangs is correct. When I got home, I discussed these happenings with Olive while she ate jam directly from the jar. Yeah, man, it makes sense. We're all controlled by corporations, you know? You're not eating Cheetos. You're eating Cheetos' image. And then he just looks amazed at the Cheeto like, oh my God. Eating jam directly from the jar defies the image that jam companies peddle. A few days later, I was greeted by the newly formed Freshness Police before my shift began and asked for documentation. They referred to me as Dispensation Officer O'Neill. Dave gave me a prepping of my new job description. And you has got to shoot people who ain't followed the rules. Oh, okay, cool, that's good, that's ethical and everything. I was fitted with a new uniform, which, much to my chagrin, was awesome. Damn, dystopian clothes are hella swank. Though I was mad with her, I felt it best to warn Deirdre of what was happening. Hey, psst, Coffeetown is forming a dictatorship and I think we should insurrect them. Oliver, shush. What you're saying is tantamount to stale thought. Ollie thinks it's swank to look like Mussolini's Cabana Boy for some reason. Why hasn't anyone gotten Olive some help? Why? Because she likes to smoke weed? It's fun to smoke weed sometimes. Could you hurry up, you slur, slur, slur? But in this case, it's coming from a character we are meant to dislike, so perhaps this is meant to demonstrate the feeling of working in a fast food place. Otherwise, but still, probably wouldn't even do that for that reason. This is the longest anyone has ever waited for anything. Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. It is my right to stay here and yell at you. All right, fine then. Can I help whoever is next in line, please? He just shoots this guy straight in the dome piece. I'll take a large triple and a box of them donuts with the hearts on them. Sir, that was a Valentine's Day promotion? Aw, shit. Well, what do you recommend as an anniversary type donut then? If you've ever complained about a line, I guarantee that a retail employee has dreamt of shooting you. That's just true. Deirdre, for balls' sake, this is a dystopian government. You have to help me fight it. You have no right to boss me around, Oliver. Besides, for a man who seems so worried about this new regime, you sure were quick to kill for them. Yeah, a customer. What happens when they want us to kill innocent people? Besides, you're one to talk. You killed a dude the other day, and you did it by pushing your only friend off of a building. So which do you think is worse? Had to do something. You wouldn't. And I have plenty of friends, you son of a bee. Bitch, Deirdre. It's son of a bitch, because we're not toddlers, and we're allowed to swear now. For example, go cunnilingus yourself, you weird-ass barn slut. Man, he's just such an unlikable character. Such an asshole. Later, when Deirdre looked up cunnilingus on Wikipedia, she vomited for an hour at the thought of doing it to herself. Look how sad she is. She's so genuinely hurt. Ollie, I won the best thing on the radio. Yeah, nice try. I'm not taking another Creed CD off your hands. Hush the feeble gurglings of your irritated vagina. for I hold a coupon for unlimited buffalo wings at Amazing Steve's for not one, but 3 people. Yes! Your finest table, please. Then, when we're sitting, bring us wings and beers until we puke, pass out, or die. Well, excuse me, ma'am. I think I know what a number 3 special is. Ollie's been tricked into taking Creed CDs from Olive that she wins on the radio on 3 separate occasions. I like the idea that she just is listening to the radio and winning these CDs on purpose simply to trick Ollie into taking them. But like, what if this is the last good times we ever have together? There's a dystopia, you know. The dystopia might kill us. Dude, you're invincible. Nothing is going to happen to you. Do you ever see me doubting myself like you? Wondering if I can, lift shit. You lift shit, and that's different because there's nothing you can't lift. I don't know if I'm totally invincible. What if I can drown? Dude, Olive, can you create a rock so big that even you yourself can outlift it? No, wait, hold on. That was a stupid question. Can a volcano? No, that's not the point. The point is Ollie is being a pussy. Haven't we all lost focus on how much of a pussy Ollie is being? I like how they I like how they always go from 0 to outrageously drunk at the drop, like one drink and they're just out of it. Oh, look, honey, our good friend Oliver. Honey, you could have went with sister or friend. Just because I'm in drag doesn't mean I have to be your wife. Jesus, man, Jesus. People can call their daughters honey, you dick. Swear to God, guys, if these clowns try to horn in on our good times. Listen, man, I don't know what things were like in ancient Egypt, but people around here don't date their daughters. Scooch. Yeah, no. Come on, man, scooch. Much better. Please forgive my wife. She can't seem to stay in character for 5 whole minutes. Listen up, Chumpo. There's some gray shirts behind us, so we gotta pretend like we're not doing anything strange. We have to leave before we get fingered. And so that's why I think our adventures could make the perfect doujinshi, or fan manga. Thanks to Wikipedia for allowing me to look up if the term doujinshi means what I thought it meant. Well, let's finish our White Russians and get to shooting people, drinking non-company coffee. What is it with the White Russians? Oh man, this is serious. They got AKs. Gee, it sure would be great to be an invincible pussy right now. How do I know you're not hiding coffee beans in your bra? Oh man, there's no time to think twice about using a gun while, for all intents and purposes, being drunk beyond all good measure. Hey, Leopold, welcome to the Danger Zone. This is before Archer started doing that, by the way. I was hoping to take you down, O'Neill. The day you told me you thought Superman could withstand a photon torpedo, well, I would have shot you right there if I could have. This came up in conversation when Leopold told Ollie he was writing a fan fiction where it turns out that the Romulans were responsible for the destruction of Krypton, and Ollie set him straight about why that can't have been the case. I thought bullets would hurt more. Oh, right, there it is, just drunk. Now you know what it is to die by Leopold's hands. Not today, Count Chompula. I'm invincible, so gunfire only really, really hurts a lot. Cringe. Fucking goddamn gun. Hold on. You got served. I like that he's doing these awful one-liners. Like, while just kills a guy and he says, you got served. Ollie thinks that it's his gun's fault when he doesn't hit the things he wants to. Oh god, this comic is a month older than I am. Yeah! Are the characters named Olive and Oliver? Indeed. So, Leopold, you weren't counting on me exploding your head, were you? Uh-oh, looks like a goddamn chupacabra attack out of nowhere. Eating dudes like this is atypical behavior for the chupacabra. This is not helping me keep down the dozens of beers and baskets of spicy wings. What the hell, Choops? Just what the hell? That wasn't just for fun, Dusty Joe. That was strictly utilitarian. My highly tuned Chupacabra senses indicate that none other than Operative Zero is headed our way. I ate 3/5 of that lad to give me the strength I need to flee. What? No, Operative Zero is a myth. Oh, so what you're saying to me, the Chupacabra, is that Operative Zero can't be real because someone told you he is a myth. Eating a guy is quicker than getting a plate of fries to go. Not a particularly energetic food. Indeed, it is based on a Nerf Maverick. Good eye, Turker. Indeed, it was. That was the model for all guns in the comic. Come with me if you don't want to get eviscerated. Can Olive come in case this is a double cross? No, I'm sick, pussy. You call me pussy too much sometimes. Pussy. So who is this Operative Zero guy, and why is he all up in our business? I would tell you, but your mind is not yet ready for the answer. Meanwhile, miles above. We've reached the coordinates, Operative. I highly recommend you reconsider wearing your parachute. Your concern is refreshing, but when I want your opinion, I will ask for it. I will never do that, because your opinion will never be of concern to me. And then he jumps out of the plane and he flutters about. I don't know if this joke lands, because he's the Mothman is the thing. And so he flies like a moth does. Like he does this like, I don't need a parachute. And he, like Captain America. But when he jumps out of the plane, he like flies around like a moth does. So it's all loop-de-loops. Unlikely allies, as the word adventure is framed in the background. This is some Coen Brothers shit right there. Fleeing is no longer an option now that you've been found by the Mothman. Thank God you're here. This ugly mummy is a Brandis loyalist. That is not the truth. Silence. I'm not here to settle my score with you, El Chupacabra. That is why you are still alive. Some of you may wonder how it feels to not have a working knowledge of perspective. Answer, pretty not good. I was very concerned that people would judge the perspective, as though everything else is drawn perfectly. Oliver O'Neill, you are under arrest for stale thought and conspiracy to overthrow the new regime. What are you going to do with that gun? Shoot me to death? I'm all kinds of invulnerable, you know. Interesting. What does an invincible man fear? Perhaps you fear that an adversary might discover that you still have sensation in your testicles. And then he shoots him straight in the nards. And it's just 3 pages of him reacting to that. You have no idea what it was like sitting on the idea of Ollie getting shot in the balls for a year. Are you now ready to cooperate? Correct? Young lady, there are easier ways to commit suicide to protest your government. Buddhists have had great success with lighting themselves on fire. The Mothman makes jokes like these because he is wicked evil. Excuse me, you're the one assaulting a dispensation officer, rude though he may be. I am acting under direct orders from the Minister of Freshness and Preservation. You are an unregistered vigilante, a freshness offense of the 3rd degree. Hey, if O'Neill is a criminal, then he's of no use to Fangs as a spy anymore, so we can pretty much go. Sweet fuck, let's go then. Well, then the Chupacabra and Dusty Joe are getting away. Just, so you know. Wait, woman, shut up. I have not yet told you to speak. Where is O'Neill? My orders were to capture him. My orders were to capture him, and I do not like to be made to make a mistake. I do not like having to unseam people who make me make mistakes. I'm beginning to think this situation is calling for a change in strategy. Jesus, hell, tits, my precious balls. Swearing is still funny, right, guys? No. No, 2006 me, it is not. One hour later, oh, God damn it, he did not get my root beer. Love Shack, baby, Love Shack, that's where it's at. That's his ringtone, is the bit. Hello? Ollie? Where is the root beer? What root beer? Dude, I gave you $4 for a 2-liter of root beer yesterday. $4 is way too much money for a 2-liter of root beer in 2006. Now's not a good time to discuss this for me. I'm in a dumpster. What? Why? The government sent the Mothman after me, so I have to hide. They shot me in the balls, like right in the balls, with a gun. Man, in what ways are you saying this? Olive, you're still drunk. You're not making any sense. Oh, no, yeah, of course. It doesn't matter at all that you basically took $4 from me and I don't get to drink my drink from it. You owe me for like a case of Dr. Peppers by now anyway. You know what, man? Forget the Dr. Peppers. I didn't complain when you ate all my chicken taquitos. No, you cooked the taquitos and then didn't want them because they had, quote, red things in them. Well, my stomach is upset, so whatever. I'm using a soiled diaper for a pillow tonight. They were red peppers, by the way. Why Love Shack? I don't know. I just thought Love Shack was funny. Man, I didn't want any of this. All right, let's be cool. I had too many drinks tonight and I got cranky. Okay, well, listen. I'm going to try and crash at Marilyn's house tonight. Are you going to be okay? Okay, we cool. You going to try and dick her or, dicking? Yes, Olive, dicking. I'll do my best. Sometimes I worry you're giving up on dicking, man. I don't know what gives Ollie the impression that he has the type of relationship with Marilyn that he could stay at her house, but okay. Deirdre, I ain't care if you're doing a split shift. You can't come in late. Never. I know, I'm sorry. Something came up. It won't happen again. I got where O'Neill is going at. That's some good wiretapping, Geoff. Now go get him. He's invincible, by the way, so the Mothman says to aim for his junk. Deirdre, you has got to make sure you shoot O'Neill's junk too. Never give up on dicking. Don't psych yourself out. Just knock on our door right now. Now. Oh shit, I'm actually knocking on... Oh shit, she is going to think I'm crazy for being here at this hour. Oh, hey, what are you... Oh, God. Ollie, oh, God. She shouldn't know his name. What is your problem, even? Why do you think that's an acceptable way to behave? Look, I'm sorry to be here so late, but I'm on the lam. I was hoping maybe I could hide out here until daylight and then maybe do some insurrecting in the morning. Oh, no, I see why you're looking at me like that. The reason I smell like garbage is because I was in a dumpster for a couple hours. Man, it's cold tonight. And I like the... there was just a hole from the bullet, and he didn't notice. I don't know why he's hard, though. That's a little strange. Don't look at me like that. I went over 100 comics without drawing all these genitals. Why are you doing this to me? Oh my God, my dick is doing all kinds of hanging out. I just walked 8 blocks with my dick out like it wasn't even a thing. Are you doing this to get back at me for something? No. I had no idea this was happening. Do you think I deserve this? Marilyn, please don't. Stay away. It's not fair. I've seen your cock twice and I'm only 18. What did I do? Why is this happening to me? Marilyn, is it so bad? Is it so bad to see my dick? Ollie, do you go to breast cancer victims and ask them how bad breast cancer is? Ollie turned around his shirt to hide the bullet holes. So that's where the bullet holes went. We cool? Didn't think to look at his pants. Okay, I'll be... Why don't you catch a shower while I bend your clothes with magic? Oh, okay, sure. Here you go, Marilyn. I'm sorry again about my dick. I think it's best if we move on with our lives. All too easy. I have done as you commanded, operative. Your competence is highly refreshing. Man, what was that? Was that guns cocking? It can't be guns cocking because I'm in the shower. This comic is late because I was debating on whether or not to show Ollie's dick again, but I decided yes, but it was too late because I'd already drawn it, so sorry, ladies. Fuck. Oliver O'Neill, cover your shame. You're under arrest. If you don't want to see my junk, you'd better do as I say. Proceed with your demands. I want you to leave Marilyn out of this. That is acceptable, especially since she's one of our agents. That probably isn't true. The Mothman probably just knows all your fears is all. Calm down, and remember, he probably knows all your worst fears. This dude's bargaining posture gains leverage when he threatens to show his junk. Is it that bad to see someone else's genitals without consent or interest? Well, I think the idea is he didn't intend to show them. But just seeing them is enough to I don't know. Maybe it would be. Marilyn, is what the Mothman is telling me true? Are you with them? Don't be mad, Ollie. They would have caught you eventually. And this way, I get a $20 gift certificate at Swiss Chalet. Win-win. You betrayed me in Canada for $20 of chicken? It's not just about the chicken. Now, no one will ever have to see your dick again. Wrong. My dick will be everywhere. My dick will be the air we breathe. My dick will be the songs we sing. My dick will be the water that quenches the thirst of the human soul. My dick will be the twinkle in the eyes of a child on Christmas morning. My balls, the scales of justice. My pubes, the robes that bind our great society together. For mine is the dick of freedom. Marilyn and the Mothman did no accounting for the fact that nothing really held that towel up. Oliver, freeze, Oliver. Oh, right, sure, I'll do that. Come on, you have to realize this is a dystopia. There's a dystopia going on by now. You won't shoot me. Try me, Buster. At 2, Deirdre? Well, what do you say to my junk? Honestly, it's beautiful, Oliver. It's beautiful, Oliver. I will never forget your genitals. Deirdre, I didn't know you felt that wound. Damn, he went down faster than a drugged up slur for sex worker. Jesus Christ. It's like romance, 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 slur jokes. My feelings exactly. Hey, Wayne, you got a cellmate, and neither are you coming out of here for a long time. Fuck you, Jeff. Hey, Jeff, don't come back. You smell like earwig jizz anyway. You okay, Ollie? You look wet. Oh, I'm quite wet. Once they got sick of torturing me, they decided to try drowning me. But I'm more invincible than they bargained for. And they can torture me all they want. It's all uphill from being shot in the balls. Trust me. Seriously, try and imagine something worse than earwig jizz. I cannot. Out of continuity Halloween hijinks. Haha, what is that supposed to be? Spider-Man? No, actually, it's the Scarlet Spider. Well, unless that Spider-Man if Spider-Man were a backyard wrestler, it looks shitty. Okay, well, no one's going to recognize She-Ra with short brown hair. That'd be a good point if I wore my costume to impress nerds. Later that night. Meow. Okay, now I see it. She-Ra. I totally see that. Great. Thanks for the beer, Todd. You earned it, bro. Kurt Cobain Spider-Man? Brilliant. This is the rare Ollie victory. Deirdre's been saying meow all night, and Olive does not like it. Ollie, you're not asleep. I'm finding it difficult to sleep in a prison next to another man who is not asleep. Go to sleep. It just gets to me that Marilyn turned evil because of my dick. I'm sure it wasn't your dick, okay? Did any of the other girls you've dated ever complain about your dick? I have not ever been in a situation where I might get the chance to show a girl my dick on purpose. I've never done the deed, and the farthest I ever got with a woman was holding in Marilyn's guts once. Haha, that explains so much. I totally get it. I totally get you as a person now. Man, it's nothing to be ashamed of or anything, but goddamn, you've honestly never even kissed a girl, like ever? You're 19. Jesus, man, I wouldn't be able to take it. All right, Pete, good talk. I think I can get to sleep now. Attention, smartasses. This is not art imitating life. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. As it turns out, I was wrong. Eventually, torture does get worse than being shot on the balls. Hey, O'Neill, is you feeling cooperative yet? What's that? Another electroshock paddle thingy? Ain't too interesting, till you consider where it's going. This is your last chance, O'Neill. We want a name. Who bees Mistress Midnight? All we want is one name. Who bees Mistress Midnight? Man, I have really no idea. I met her like maybe twice. Why don't you just like check fetish places? You know, the internet? There are literally more dominatrixes on the internet than people on Earth. that statistic is not made up. Probably is. Probably is. That's an optimistic view of the internet. Deirdre times Olive needs to be a thing. There was a recurring joke in some of the comics that I don't think are backed up, that Olive hits on Deirdre when she drinks, because like at the time, it was around the time when like there was a trend of girls changing their relationship status to say married to their best friend. And so like it was just a thing that like, I don't know if it was just like the people I hung out with or what, but like girls would always get really flirty with each other when drinking. I don't know. And it made Deirdre very uncomfortable. So she would not be in favor of that pairing, I don't think. It took some days, but we has finally found out who Mistress Midnight bees. Highly excellent. Now she will learn the price of my irritation. Tell me, how did you know O'Neill was working with the rebels anyways? My methods of espionage need not concern you, Chancellor. Have the whore killed, and we will begin phase 2 of our operation. Is you think I is a fool? Her heart bees in a jar on me's desk right now. Now, I should mention at this point that leading up to this, I would have like little news things that went with the comics, and I was talking about how one of the characters was going to die in this storyline. So there you see Mistress Midnight's heart in a jar on his desk. I forget this character's name. Tell me, gentlemen, do you find that I don't speak clearly? Not me. No, I mean, yes. Wait, I mean, you do speak clearly is what I mean. Oh, really? Tell me then, when I tell you to wear human disguises and tail O'Neill, specifically to earn his trust and get him on our side, how do you manage to abandon him when the feds attack? Especially when you know that he'll be captured and that he knows our names and where I live. Sir, honestly, it is difficult to work with a man who is so clearly attracted to me. I myself am heterosexual, and it made me a little uncomfortable and sloppy. You think you're so funny, you son of a bitch? I'm not gay. I didn't think you were gay, all right? He's bisexual. That's why he's always looking at Fangs' wife. Fangs was later left to wonder why he keeps putting them together in the first place. This is a gay panic joke that I think still works. Just the idea that he's like, he's also hitting on your wife, you know? Just trying to get Dusty Joe killed. Remember, double cupping and other visible shrink is stale thought and punishable by death. You has also got to stir more when you uses sugar. Customers is complaining. But we has got some exciting news to report. Since we is the location that took down Mistress Midnight, head office is giving us a new freshness initiative. It is our store's new duty to make sure that all of Adventure City be under our control by the end of the fiscal quarter. David, I have around 7 questions about the things you just said. And I like this, this woman in the background is just like, ugh, Deirdre's asking questions again. Just can't get the meeting over with. They said if I told them who Mistress Midnight was, they'd give us some food and coffee, right? So I was like, yeah, she's Marilyn, I guess. Question number 1, how much stirring exactly do we have to do? How long did each issue take you to make? A couple months. Why is it good that Mistress Midnight is dead? She was a 3rd-degree Brandis loyalist? You think you're pretty funny, don't you? Dude, excessive. Later. Coffee Town. We're a dystopian government now. Oh, poo. Someone in marketing is going to be fired for that one. I think this is a joke that I don't know if it works as well. Just the idea that Deirdre's gradually realizing, like, there's something definitely wrong here. And then there's a billboard that literally just says it. Do you know where I think Dave went wrong in dealing with you? Well, if I were to guess, based on the last 16 hours, I'd say not enough torture. No. I'm only torturing you now for fun. Torture is meaningless to a man who cannot die. I propose a new strategy. You will tell me who Mistress Midnight is. or I will kill Deirdre Power. Ollie is getting tortured because the Mothman, because there's nothing good on TV. Do I like kale or not? I do not like kale, but I eat it because it's very good for you. Deirdre's way safer if they don't know what she can do. She's Paris Hilton. Last chance. She's Paris Hilton and Ann Coulter at the same time somehow. You know what you have to do? March on down there to that detention center and free Ollie. It doesn't matter how rude he is. He's probably really sorry. He might give you lots of hugs and kisses. You're right, Archibald. I've been a fool. And if you recall, Deirdre said that when she is upset, she imagines having a penguin that she can talk to. This is her doing that. Deirdre Power, I have a warrant for your immediate... Oh, fiddlesticks. Oh, fiddlesticks, I've unknowingly revealed my true love's torture... I've unknowingly rendered my true love's torture meaningless. Sklurch? I wonder if he left his bike. He left his bike. So I said, condoms? Do I look like Jay-Z? Are these the types of conversations that armed bordermen have? Well, I wasn't sure when I wrote it. I still think that's just to come in the middle of that story. Condoms? What do I look like? Jay-Z? Scraw, pagoo, pagoo, sklunch, glurk. Crispy roasted kale is nice. Yeah, I'll occasionally have kale put in the air fryer. Why not? Kadunk. No jokes today, only violence. I actually really like this panel. One thing I will say about the drawings is they're very expressive. Critch? I know she is coming, and I am prepared for violence. Perclanch? I am going to shoot your face and body. Likewise. The Mothman is prepared for violence. The Mothman prepared for violence with breathing exercises and self-reflection. Look how small the bullet, the chambers are on these guns. Pagoo, paka! Too bad, you won't live long enough to work on your aim. And then she's all smug. Son of a... Do you know what philosopher commented on the folly of electrocuting invincible dudes? Voltaire! Oh, I get it. That's pretty clever. Did you hear that somewhere, or did you come up with that on the spot? I pretty much stole it from Reader's Digest. Deirdre, I'm sorry I called you a barn slut. Oh, pish posh. Now cowboy up. We've got a lot of men to obliterate. And if I survive, I will second base with you. It's just a joke. Voltaire actually never clarified his position on the matter. Hey, Ems? Oh God, we're gonna die. I can't help but notice that we're going upstairs. Conventional logic would dictate we head towards the exit. They'll expect that, though. We need to play to our strengths. What? See, Ems, the door is locked. God does not answer the prayers of Deirdre's enemies. Just gets thrown. It's just a recurring joke. She just, whenever she needs to unlock a door. Second base is homemade muffins? Absolutely. We're on the roof. Now what? Oh, for fuck's sake. Tell me you have a plan. Tell me you didn't throw me through a door for nothing. You're not going to like it. Shocking. I was thinking I could throw you over the side and then I could jump and land on you if that's okay. And then I realized I'd been a total cock. Of course it's okay. You're my turtle. That was a nice little moment. She said earlier, I can be your turtle if you want. If this is your first Mild-Mannered Jerks comic, you have been vastly misled about the content of the rest. It's also like the only time Ollie shows any self-reflection whatsoever. Ow. Jesus Christ, ow. Look, Oliver. Only one man is guarding the fire escape. We could have walked out. Life is a rich tapestry of surprises like that. Oh God, I give up. Have mercy. Denied. Deirdre considered showing mercy, but then remembered she didn't want to. 2 minutes later. How do these pants fit? Snugly. I'm surprised he didn't soil himself. They usually do. Where did you get that cigarette? Scavenged it from some weepy McHalf-face. I didn't know you smoked. Just when I mass murder. So you can stand there all day? Or are you gonna kiss me? No, not you. I'll kill you. And then she's just... so like, what? Why? You never want to kiss a girl more than when she's covered in blood, and explaining how most of her murder victims immediately soil themselves. Kinda true. No, look out! That douchebag Operative Zero is behind you. Take off that mask so I know who I'm killing. Cooperate if you do not want to suffer needlessly. You know, I guess I don't really need to hide my identity. From a dead man. I guess I ought to put that out. Wait, that's it! Mama didn't raise me to knock the cigarette out of a dominatrix's mouth. I had learned over the course of this adventure that I needed to do painful things if I wanted to fight for what I believed in. I believe that Coffeetown cannot govern a nation. I believe this because Coffeetown does not care about people. And I know that Coffeetown doesn't care about people because I know they don't care about their employees. Which is also how I knew they wouldn't be springing the extra few cents on fireproofing their uniforms. Hey, chumpweed. Flame. Sweet, irresistible flame. Let's dance. Just think, Roscoe. One last delivery before I retire. And I love that it's that. He works for a company just called Explosives. So far, no truck driver has ever made it to retirement in Adventure City. Like hell you're walking away from me, schlunk, clack, clap leech. I've had enough of your constant living. Well, thanks a lot for ruining my big plan. Oliver, please understand, I know you wanted to look cool and blow him up or something, but occasionally, my need to murder will supersede any and all impulses I have to indulge you in such things. That's a weirdly written sentence. When I set my mind to killing someone, I don't expect me to stop for any reason. Now then, I believe there is the matter of second base. It is important to recognize women just want their killing respected. Ladies, is that true? Select scenes from the Canadian Civil War within Adventure City. He's fighting with a lightsaber, dinosaur Nazi. You can see that he's fighting the Chupacabra if you look closely. Olive lasers a flying tank. Pete is fighting some kind of orc woman, and there's a UFO in the background. Top of Bat has shot both of Eboshi's arms off with an Uzi. Dude, I shot both your arms off. I know. They have a gorilla in a Coffeetown uniform, and Ollie's dressed as the Tooth Fairy for some reason. And finally, it's Deirdre fighting Mecha Hitler. There's a perfectly reasonable explanation for each scenario depicted in this comic, except for the third and last. I don't know, I think you could explain why Deirdre's fighting Mecha Hitler. Who wouldn't? Man, on CBC, they just said Coffeetown gets to be a separate country now. What's up with that? I'm just glad the Civil War is over. Today I took an RPG to the taint. Damn, dude. Today, my butthole felt a force that was once reserved throughout the universe to Ben Affleck's butthole on Matt Damon's birthday. It was like farting out hellfire in reverse. Hold on, before I throw up, do you want to chill tonight? After the horrors of the past month, so much bloodshed, I don't know if I can ever chill again. God help me, Olive. God help us all. Who is next to face the drunk of fire? Bring. Only bitches won't chill because they have shell shock. I don't know about that one. Don't know about that one, Chief. Also, Eboshi just has Jack's arms now for the rest of the comic. And I believe this is the last storyline. Seriously, just a bunch of assholes. And this one goes to some dark places. Oh my God, what is this nonsense? Hello, Todd. Are you in jail? If you're not, I'm hanging up. Why would I be in jail? Goodbye. Wait, don't hang up. What are you doing tonight? Well, I can't speak for anyone else, Todd, but I'm a normal person, so I was in bed. Oh, really? What do you wear to bed? I'm wearing boy-cut panties, Todd. That is so hot right there. Normally, I sleep naked, but I'm on the squirt. Olive wants to live normally, but her giant bat friend represents the uncanny. She just hands Eboshi the phone, wordlessly. Hello? Dude, it's totally Todd, the bat calling. Oh. Oh, man, are you having depression now? No, Todd, I can't feel anything anymore. I don't know what to do! Todd is such a good friend that other people's depression gives him anxiety attacks. Hey, Ollie, you awake at all? Yeah. Are you touching yourself? No, not right this minute. Totally zipped up for the night. Come on in. Man, Ollie, I'm hungry. Do you know what I mean? I'm not sure that I do. Enough of this. We must prepare the thunder omelet. To the kitchenette. Like, he gets up so fast that his chair falls over. Olive must play coy because one should not dare speak openly of the thunder omelet. This isn't right. It's not thunderous. Oh, this is the last of your eggs, too. Oh, God. I bet my fertility doctor will say that in 10 years. I'm a failure as a woman. Tell me I'm a good cook. Tell me I'm pretty. You're Jamie Oliver. That's not funny. Do you think my emotions are funny? Want to get a pizza? Ask them to make the crust out of garlic bread. Olive thinks she is too masculine because her omelet is not thunderous. This seems very out of character, but there's an explanation. Hello, Pizza Falcon, home of the hygiene promise. Do you deliver pizza to Riley Street? Get donair sauce, too. It is you. Pior? You run me out of business. You call Better Business Bureau when I kick you out, and they shut down my apartments. Now I peddle pizza fit for a donkey. I hope a whore shits on your grave. Oh man, this is crazy. Let me hear. May much of your dick rot off. If you can prove your pizza is unhygienic, double your money back. Pizza Falcon is a very funny name for a pizza restaurant. Jesus, we are entirely out of food. That is, unless what? Well, it's daytime in Japan, right? You could fly there. We could totally have a Japanese pizza tonight. Here is lovely pizza. Thank you for ordering. Yeah, okay, but there's one problem. The odds of you even seeing Mothra are like 1 in a million. No, I just meant NORAD would get pissy, but yeah, damn, Mothra. Imagine, if you will, a future where robots are programmed to speak English poorly. Also, to really date this comic, this in the corner here, that's Hero from the television program Heroes, which none of you remember. Fuck you, I'm not fighting Mothra to get a pizza. Dude, Mothra is the chumpest Daikaiju, and you know it. Mothra ain't shit. That is common knowledge. I am not kidding when I say that Rodan could take down Mothra. That is how much of a chump she is. Well, I seem to recall Mothra schooling Godzilla like a total punk. Come on now, Olivia. That is no longer canon. Jesus Christ. Not cool, Eboshi. I can't fight my upbringing. Ollie is just so goddamn smug about his knowledge of Toho films. So, yeah, Todd is coming over. Todd can fuck right off. Why are you hating on Todd? In addition to totally waking me up just now, Todd is a complete perv who will stare at my boobs all night. Hell yeah. Todd does not let anyone stop him from enjoying some sweet titty action. They're just high-fiving, just complete dicks. Olive can explode a T-Rex with her bare hands, but is powerless against the sexism of her peers. Yo, Olive. Hello, Shantytown Susan. That is the nickname you have earned tonight for being such a buttwipe. Shantytown Susan, or Shanty Sue for short. You're still pissed? Well, Shanty Sue, I can't get back to sleep, and I'm wicked tired, so yes, I am genuinely pissed at your furry ass. Would you be mad at Dubverine? What? Like Wolverine, but with dubimantium claws. What's dubimantium? The giant bat did not prepare his audience before making his joke. All I'm saying is there's a certain moral obligation to use superpowers for the common good. Even if I accepted that your system of ethics was the absolute perfect one, I don't have superpowers. I'm not superhuman. I'm a regular shinobi. Oh, yeah, right. With Jack's arms. What did you just say, you condescending son of a bitch? How many dudes want to party with Todd? 2 dudes do. If you ever say the word Jack's arms again, I will find a way to murder you. Eboshi finds it difficult to communicate with someone he is unable to threaten, because violence is very ingrained in his cultural heritage. But why are my main bros fighting? Oh, I'm so scared. I'm scared of the ninja poet with his Don't dare, fuckface. I swear to God, I will end you. Heavens, I'd better not talk about your Jack's arms. Just gets his glasses clean knocked off. Ollie is not intimidated by ninja poets. Listen to my words and hear them in your coward's liver. Our blood feud has begun. Poof. What the hell is wrong with you? I thought... Eboshi was being out of line with regards to his Jack's arms. I stand by what I said. That dude has Jack's arms. And now one of your best friends wants to murder you? Well, I mean, I'm invincible, so... So blood feuds are no great shakes to you. You see, the liver was once considered to be the seat of courage. Look it up. That's a true fact. True fact. Can't deny that. Alas, this program's quality has taken a lamentable turn in quality. Its quality has taken a lamentable turn in quality due to the departure of Captain Murphy. I'm watching too much television. I should really read something. Exercise the mind. What is the meaning of this? Who dares to interrupt Lord Oblivicron during his nightly reading? Must I tell you again, Eboshi, I do not have your Silverchair CDs. I have a job for you, jackass, and yes, you do have my fucking CDs, and I want them back. Can you provide the $40 fee for my services? Eboshi is so angry that he has to hold the phone away from his mouth so he can yell louder. Why do they call it pot? Pot. Pot. It's the easiest word to say when you're stoned. Or because you heat it up like a pot. Oh, yeah, I guess. Good point. Wait a minute, what the fuck? Oh, sorry, I'm Morty. I'm a hobgoblin. I'm only visible to the extremely high, and I can read your mind. I can't... What does that say? As Morty's creator, I can tell you for certain that he has Ben Stein's voice. All right. Morty sucks. Don't get excited about Morty. What are you doing here, Morty? Glad you asked, love. See, now he's British. Ben Stein's not British. He takes a big puff. I'm brewing jug wine and watching all you piss just for the fuck of it. And I'd like to make you my bride. Will you have me? No, I better not. After much quiet deliberation, the pretty girl decided not to marry the invisible hobgoblin who watched her pee without her consent. How's about a Rogerin then? Let's face it, we're both fine pieces of scrump. No, dude, you're gross. Oh, really? You think so, do you? Did you know that I have laser beam eyes? I will use my laser beam eyes to hurt you if you show me that kind of thing. It's not okay to show me your bum in a sexual way like that. And then Morty licks his finger and puts it to his nipple and is laser beamed out of the house, yelling, "Still worth it." Morty is unrepentant even in the face of death. That is how much he likes sexual harassment. And then she's just looking at this big hole. Shit. Hey, just a quick question here. Did you just laser beam a big portion of our walls away? Yes, I did. An invisible hobgoblin was sexually harassing me and I got carried away. And I'm very high and I'm having a panic attack. Well, yeah, all right, right on. So, and let me know if this is out of line here, but can you by any chance pay off the security deposit I laid down on this place? Eboshi is not concerned with how this happened. He is concerned about his money. this sucks. It doesn't register like half your punches. It does so. You just suck at it. Yeah, okay, whatever. Do you have any regular person video games like Halo or Madden or something? I don't own those games. I read books. Has anyone ever told Ollie that it's possible to disagree with someone without being a condescending dick snivel? Ollie thinks that people who play those games read magazines at best. Oh, hey, this must be that Pervo's jug wine. Warning, don't put near humans. The fumes makes their emotions crazy. They will kill you. That must mean, oh my God, no way. It's intuitive. It's fucking intuitive. Hey guys, check this out. And then she shows her vagina. At this point, I thought, I've shown penises so often as a punchline, I thought a vagina would be funny. I just tricked you into looking at a cartoon character's vagina. You are now a pervert. They both say, oh my God, your snatch. Ollie is horrified. Todd's thrilled. That's right. You see, I thought I was on my time earlier because I was getting mood swings, and I figured it was my peems. As it turns out, this magical jug wine has been interfering with our emotions. That's why we've been such utter bitches for the past little while. Think I'm going to be sick. Yeah, me too. I have boner's dick syndrome. See, this proves my point. Ollie, don't you think it's a little strange that you don't have a boner? This week on a shocking new House MD, a giant bat gets boner's dick syndrome. Oh man, the universe. No, stop it, Olive. Stop being high. You have work to do. So long, bitch-ass goblin juice. Luna, will you marry me? Oh, Harold, yes. Oh God, some days I get to thinking I'm the luckiest star in the night sky. Harold, no! Stopping high, stopping high, stopping high, stopping high. Olive closes her eyes and imagines that she's why the moon is alone. Okay, I'm seriously the usher of death this time. I just killed the moon's fiancé. They would have been so happy together. Olive, you are very high. The moon is a rock in space. She can never take a man. He was a star with a little star mustache and his head exploded, and the engagement ring fell to earth. So where is it? Do you hear a noise? Thought Slime, I have missed your live streams. I'm sad that I didn't start watching the streams 2 hours ago. Mad God was truly something to watch. If you were watching Mad God instead, I forgive you. No one questions the gender of the moon in this universe. Then the house is explodified, turning and turning in a widening gyre. The falcon cannot hear the falconer. What? Ollie is struggling to decode Yeats because he is distracted by losing his home. Allow me to introduce myself. I know who you are, jackass. You do? Ah, yes. Now I recall. You were in my creative writing class. You called my prose amateurish. I do not forgive you. You just blew up my house, you dillhole. And you know what? Your prose was amateurish. Pick a tense and stick with it next time. I can't read the alt text. It's very small. That was a stylistic choice. It conveyed the confusion that the protagonist felt. Dude, fuck off. You blew up my house to defend your writing style? Fool. I've been summoned here to destroy you by a third party. The chance to defend my art is but the icing on this deathly cake. Irregardless, I'm not being paid to chit-chat with you. Prepare to die. Irregardless is not a word. Tune in next comic for Ollie saying, let's dance. That really should have killed you. Yeah, I bet. Let's dance. Oh God, yes. Oh God, sweet oxygen. Wait, is everyone okay? And then, Boshi's on the toilet. Daddy's punches feel like this? It's not appropriate. Everyone is fine, it says. Obliviron's not fine. You get a punch in the dome. Who sent you, dickface? His name is Aboshi. Ollie gets so mad that he goes cross-eyed, and I believe this is the last comic. Oblivion just cannot take being punched. And now there's just some Valentine's, because it was Valentine's Day when around this time. You Are My Turtle. That's Ollie and Deirdre. Actually, fuck it. Let's play Wii Sports. You could use this one for your friend who you didn't have romantic feelings towards. Hey, nice eyes. As Pete doesn't have to try. Hey, Valentine, check out my tits. You are Petrarchan archetypes. So if I said you had a nice body, would you let me throat fuck you for $20? And that's mild-mannered jerks. That's as far as I got. There was one more proto-comic, and it was just Ollie having to move in with Deirdre. And she wakes him up like really early. He's like, you were out until 5 o'clock in the morning killing people. How are you up so early? And I don't know what the punchline was going to be. It got fun in the end. You should be proud. I am extremely proud of them. Finish this one on stream. GG. I mean, I don't know how I intended to end it, but because the whole point was that they were all fighting, and then they were meant to reconcile by the end because they realized their emotions were heightened from the drug wine. But I don't know what would have happened. Reboot time? Eventually I'll get around to it. I have a bunch of ideas because I still think about these characters and I still write stories for them in my head. It's time to renew Mild-Mannered Jerks. There was also, I can't find it on the hard drive. There was a brief period after this where it started over is a slightly more realistically drawn thing called Weekend Nights. And I did the origin story for Olive and Ollie and Pete. But I didn't get around to anyone else's. I want to live in the universe where Mild-Mannered Jerks took off instead of Penny Arcade. Yeah, me too. It's the perfect time to reboot them as less problematic versions of themselves now that Jugwine isn't making them jerks. I mean, they'd still be mild-mannered jerks. I regret that I missed about a third in the middle there. There was a huge jump in quality. Yeah, as I was going, because I was teaching myself as I was going, right? And it's at the time, I remember, and this let this be a life lesson for all of you. When I was doing it, and I couldn't get anybody to read it, I felt so defeated. I put so much work into it, and no one read it. And I thought I had wasted all that time. But now, I learned so much from doing all of that, stuff that I still use to this day in my current job. Because doing it, I had to learn how to use Photoshop. I had to learn how to do digital art, which I had no idea how to do before and barely knew by the end of that. Still barely know, to be real. But it's all stuff that I use on a daily basis now. What does my art style look like now? So if you've ever watched to the end of one of my videos, I draw all the $10 patrons. And there's a scroll with all the cartoons. That's basically what it's like now. But yeah, that was the comic that I did. Would you be willing to upload the comic somewhere? I would love to reread it. Maybe. We'll see about that. What made you decide to put a bat furry in your comic? So I just like the idea, because originally the joke with Todd the Bat that I had planned was they were going to have a superhero team, and there was going to be a bunch of other people trying out, and one of them comes up and it's Todd, and he's like, "Hi, I'm Todd," and they're like, "Okay, Todd, what do you do?" And he says, "Well, I'm a giant bat," and they're like, "Uh-huh," and they write down giant bat. Anything else? No, it's mostly the bat thing. And they're like, "Okay, we'll call you." But that joke never ended up making it into the comic, and it's just they have a friend that's a giant bat. Because it's just like everything in their city is like weird, and there's, you know, it's they're supposed to be kind of over it, you know, like just shit happens to them, and they're just like, one of the characters is a ninja who never does any ninja stuff because because like in that world there's just ninjas walking around and it's not remarkable to anyone. They just see a ninja and it's just like, okay, you know. Imagine some sort of Batman on a superhero team. It would never happen. It basically showed up in the character bio card. He's a giant bat. Yeah. That was the only time when rereading them I made myself laugh out loud. Was that he's a giant bat. Also, that it listed his strength level as proportional to a regular-sized bat. What happened to my glass house and white Ferrari? Do I still live for New Year's Eve? Oh, man, sloppy steaks at Trifoni's. I used to be a piece of shit. How much were you inspired by Cyber 6? When I jumped on a couple hours ago, the first page I saw made me immediately think of it. I could see that in maybe Deirdre's outfit. Did you write a script first or write as you went? I had so for most of the storylines I had like an outline, but occasionally I would get really annoyed not being able to get to the good parts. So I would just go in a different direction so I could do something fun. The only one that I really scripted out ahead of time, like, and really stuck to and did the way I wanted to do, was the one where the Tim Hortons analog takes over Canada, which is why that's, I think, by far the best storyline. It's by far the funniest and best thought out, and it's the only one with a character arc. Like, Deirdre learns that she can't just throw Ollie. She has to ask for permission before throwing Ollie off of a building, and Ollie learns, like, that he has an anger problem and that he's you know, he's too mean to Deirdre. Wasn't as horny as Cyber 6. I would argue that it's very unhorny in general. I mean, there's a character who's a dominatrix, but the joke is that she didn't know, because the dominatrix essentially looks like a superhero. If you didn't know what a dominatrix was and you just saw one, you'd be like, oh, it's like a spooky superhero, right? Like, they kind of look like Batman a little bit. I love the coffee cup fascism poster. That one, like, that's how it felt to me working at Tim Hortons. I always got the impression that, like, because they co-opt, like, Canadiana so much that it's like, and then working at a fast food place feels like being in a dictatorship, you know? Only for 8 hours at a time. But, like, you're there, you have no choice about what you're allowed to wear, how you're allowed to behave. When you go to the bathroom, like, you don't have basic control over your body, who you speak to. You know, you're told what to say, what facial expressions are appropriate, you know? I think Grant Morrison made the same observation in Super Gods. Well, I mean, it boils down to, like, superhero costumes are derived from wrestler costumes. And I think, like, dominatrix costumes share that DNA, right? Because there's only so many, like, theatrical outfits you can wear in real life. The coffee cup logo reminded me of Marvel's Hammer logo. I'd say something about Hammer, didn't it? The innocent people / customers bit is probably the best joke in the comic from the perspective of anyone who's worked a fast food job. Yeah, and I like that it's not even the punchline. It's just like offhandedly, like, you know, it's in the middle of it. It's yeah. I saw the double cup thing and I was like, yes, clearly written by a service worker. There was a lot of that stuff that actually happened, like the how big is your 16-ounce coffee? That was a real thing. If they were all supposed to be superheroes, then explain the lack of external underwear. So within the comic world, this is kind of the only one who wears a costume is Deirdre because she's like a social outcast. And the minute Ollie sees her, he's just like, Deirdre, what are you wearing? Because like in real life, if you wore a domino mask, like most superheroes do, it just wouldn't conceal your identity at all. So it just doesn't work and nobody does it. So none of them have costumes. I appreciate this window. We're about the same age, so it gave me an opportunity to reflect back on my younger self and what I thought was funny at the time. It definitely, there was a lot about it that, like, this explains a lot about me. Like, just Ollie's attitude toward women in general, I think, is very much like he values being with women, not because he wants a girlfriend, but because he's ashamed of the fact that he can't get one. But that isn't presented as a character flaw of Ollie's. It's like, it's my insecurities coming through in the comic. You know? The most offensive part of your comic was making Mothman a fash. He wasn't. He was. First of all, fash. I never called Coffee Town a fascist dictatorship. I very consciously used the word dystopia. They're a dystopian government, akin to the Empire from Star Wars. Just they don't believe in anything. They're just spooky bad guys. And secondly, Mothman was not a believer. He was an operative. He was hired. He was a mercenary. The funny thing was that it did hide Deirdre's identity from Mothman. Yeah, I think I forgot that joke by that time. If Rule 34, mild-mannered jerks, is to happen, it's imperative on this chat at this point. I don't think there's any of the characters people would want to see naked, with the possible exception of Mothman. Has your wife read these? What does she think of the comic? She hasn't yet. I mean, their uniform and flag was Nazi coded, weren't they? I mean, yeah, the same way that the Empire from Star Wars is. But that doesn't mean anything. It's just visual shorthand for evil government. I don't know, man. I kind of want to see Todd's giant dick. I don't know if it's funnier if Todd has a giant dick or not. This one definitely showed me how casual homophobia was back then. Oh, yeah. Fast food restaurant pun. That would have been pretty good. Although I do think Corporate Takeover is a funny title. Lava Man times Frankenstein fanfic. Todd Rule 34. Did you try to get this on Top Webcomics or Comic Buzz or whatever? I read all of those, and this is the first webcomic I've seen with actual nudity. I don't remember how I tried to promote it. But, I mean, it's joke nudity, you know? It took me like 10 years to stop using gay as another way of generally saying bad. I think even in this comic, it was after I had learned not to do that, but before I had learned that having a character do that ironically is the same as doing it. You know, because like it's a, oh no, the joke is that they're bad people. It's, is it? Or did you get a cheap laugh, you know? It doesn't seem much like it now, but would you say if any of the characters were self-insert? Oh, Ollie. Ollie is 100% a self-insert character. To a T. He is my self-image at the time. Like, sorry, I thought that was obvious. I thought that was, that couldn't be clearer. He's a terrible person, but that is apparently how I saw myself in 2005. I thought Ollie and Olive were your male and female alter egos. No, like Olive as a character really, I don't know. She kind of took on the persona of one of my friends, but like the idea that I was going for with her was that because she had all of these powers, she never had to work for anything in her life. Like everything just came easy to her. She was super talented at everything. So she just like didn't care and didn't try and like didn't understand that things could be difficult for other people. So she is just like spends all of her time just like getting high and watching SpongeBob because like why bother doing anything else? If she needs to accomplish something, she'll just go out and do it like in one try. The sarcastic guy who's invincible and struggles with the girls is literally me. I mean, like, he worked at a Tim Hortons, well, like I did at the time. Even, like, his bedroom is drawn to look like my bedroom. His computer, he's, like, he had the same chair that I have. I had the same, like, I styled my sideburns like that when I was younger. So is Marilyn like dead? Because I really liked her. I think the plan was always for Marilyn to return as a villain. Because her head was pulled off and her heart was pulled out. But I had previously established that the physiology of witches is just nonsense. So was all of the Metro Man plotline before Megamind even came out? No, I think Olive was meant to be like kind of a sadder character, like gifted child syndrome, you know, like when you know, like everyone knows that type of person who is like really gifted as a kid, everything comes easy to them, and then later in life they kind of burn out because like they've never developed that resilience. But then the plan with her was that she was going to have a kid, and that was going to straighten her out. I ship Deirdre and Marilyn. Marilyn is not a good person. Deirdre deserves better. There is a in the Mild Manedrix expanded universe, there's a character who Deirdre ends up with who is actually worthy of her. But he's not in the comics that I actually made. Kind of hate that the one example that comes to mind is Bird Person. One example of what? Of someone coming back to life in a comic book? Also, I just like the joke of anytime you kill a character in a superhero comic, it's like when they come back, people are just not phased. It just happens so often. Because that's what it's like in superhero comics. Anyone gets killed, it's like, am I supposed to pretend like I don't think they're going to resurrect, you know? Oh, is Batman dead? Oh, I bet that'll stick. Deirdre times Todd? No, Todd dies alone. Todd will never find love. He doesn't deserve it. Did you ever read the Residence Life webcomic? It just disappeared one day. If I did, I don't remember it. I think Deirdre and Olive would be cute. I don't know. Olive really never gets like a... she talks a lot about dating, and I think it's implied that she has a very healthy romantic life, but you never really see her with anybody. Which is strange. Olive, I think, is the last issue. There's so much about Olive. It's a story that where she's the focus, because I realized like she was meant to be the secondary lead, and like she does nothing in the whole, like she's never involved in a story, and it's yeah. Todd doesn't deserve love because he used the forbidden frisbee technique. That's Pete. Pete does frisbees. I identify with Todd in that I am gross, horrible, and look like a giant rabid bat. Don't we all? Mood. So true. Have you kept up with Sinfest and the weird places it's gone? Oh, there's always a Sinfest video percolating back here. For those that don't know, Sinfest was a webcomic. Still is a webcomic that was in the early 2000s, was just like guy hits on hot girl and she's just like, nah. And he's like, then there was an arc where the main character discovered feminism, and the author rather, not the main character, and apologized and did this like long apology tour for the way the comic had been written up to that point. And you're like, oh, okay, wow. Looks like Sinfest has really turned a page. I bet they're never going to do anything horrible ever again. And then just tumbled straight into being a massive turf and just fucking inscrutable comics. Inscrutable, hateful comics. It's so strange. Is second base for Deirdre also muffins? Yeah, I think it's been established that second base is always eating muffins. That's not a euphemism, by the way. I know muff could mean vagine. No, literally the baked good. I didn't make it that far in Sinfest. Oh, man. Sinfest got fucking weird. Because it's such a melange of hate. It's so fucking bizarre because it's like, first of all, you have to follow such a dense mythology to like the storyline last year was about like baby New Year being kidnapped by the gender regime and being put into gender jail, and it's just like there's a version of the Joker called the Wokler. It's like shit like that. It's all like internally consistent. and you're supposed to be keeping up with it, and it makes no fucking sense. Muffins are as serious as the Usher of Death. I still think that Usher of Death thing, I still think that's very funny. The couple of comics I looked at were going hard on the OK Groomer bullshit. For those that are just popping into the stream, they're referring to Sinfest, not my comics. Highly recommend the recent Sabretooth for some prison abolitionist content in a big Marvel thing. Doesn't Sabretooth kill and eat people? Isn't that the thing he does? Sinfest was so strange. Like, there was this phase where I really liked it. The art was cool, and it seemed like it was going in a good direction, and then just right off the rails. Oh, the art is still really good. Say what you will, and I will. The art is really good. It's just fucking in service of hideous, inscrutable nonsense hate. Honestly, your stuff was funnier than Sinfest? Yeah, I should hope so. I only read webcomics that hold up, such as Achewood, Dinosaur Comics, Dr. McNinja, the Dover Creek. What's it called? It's a spooky school. It's like a good Harry Potter. Something. Dover something. Dunner Creek Court, it was called. That one was good. A lesson is learned, but the damage is irreversible. Perry Bible Fellowship. Whoever the one Ryan Pequin did. Nedroid. Nedroid is amazing. Kate Beaton's comics. Dinosaur Comics is still good, amazing, and still going. So is Gunner Creek Court. Yeah, it's wild that he just does those still. Toothpaste for Dinner seemed like a nice silly rom. Toothpaste for Dinner was pretty funny back in the day. If you had gotten famous for this, you'd likely be 100% douche now. Well, I'm like 200% douche now, so it sounds like I'd be better off. Married to the Sea had that amazing comic that is, I think, eternally relevant, where it's a guy and he's got two flasks, and he's pouring them both into a third container. And one is labeled poo-poo and the other is labeled pee-pee. And the container he's pouring them both into is labeled George W. Bush. And then the caption is, "He is a bad president." Which is like, that is how, like, that just applies to so much political satire. Bad news about Gunner Creek Court. That one's gone so downhill. I haven't read it in like 10 years. What would your Dick Wolves arc have been if had you stuck with the webcomics? Oh, I think I would have went in the other direction. I think I would have pissed off my fan base by getting gradually woker. Wait, did I miss something? Do you really see yourself as a jerk? No, but that's why I question whether I knew that Ollie was an unlikable jerk at the time, is the thing. But there's even the things that I knew were bad about him, I think like leaked out of my insecurities for sure. My favorite indie comic is Spider-Man. I assume this is different than the popular character Spider-Man spelled with a hyphen. I think one that a sad story, Pictures for Sad Children, which was it was a brilliant comic, really really funny. But the creator had a mental health breakdown and removed it from the internet. Like, I mean, there are still like re-uploads of it, but like, I wouldn't feel right reading it because obviously he doesn't want, it out there. But, it's a shame. It's a shame because it was really good. Did anyone here read Gun Show? I read Gun Show. I didn't read back though. Even though it was Casey Green and Nedroid, it should have been right up my alley. I just never read it. Have you ever read Birthright or Luna Brothers by the Sword? Birthright is ringing some kind of. There's something about that. I think I read something like, but I'm not sure. I think the author of Pictures for Sad Children is also trans, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. The difference between you now and Ollie is like night and day. I say that in a good way. You've outgrown Ollie and become a better person. Yeah, again, I don't know how much of the way he is a bad person was intentional. Because like the title of the comic is Mild-Mannered Jerks, right? Like they're kind of thoughtless, like Ollie shoots a guy and shoots his head off in one comic, like they're kind of creatures of the heightened reality they live within. What would Ollie's YouTube content be like? I think it would be a lot of very basic videos where he's doing all of the things that are recommended to do in like YouTube tutorials, like how to get 10,000 subscribers. And he's doing all of that. And every episode he's just complaining that he doesn't have more subscribers. Every single time he's just like, I don't know why nobody's subscribing to my channel, but like, Yeah, that's how I imagine, because his defining quality is like an insecurity mixed with a sort of entitlement that he deserves better. Shot in the balls? Real, not clickbait. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. He would definitely do like a vlog. What would my favorite character be? Do I have a favorite character from Mild Mannered Jerks? I would say it's Deirdre for sure. Deirdre is easily the most fun to write because she has the strongest point of view, right? Like she you know why you know how she's going to react in any given situation, and it just makes her like really fun. And I like that there's the two sides to her too. That like she's this, you know, wallflower, very shy person who's just like superhumanly sheltered, just like doesn't know anything dirty or know anything of the world, and then like also a murderous sadistic killer, you know. Did you watch Super Eye Patch Wolf's video on Grow Your Own Channel courses recently? Yeah, it was a great video. Just showed up like are we talking problematic like, oh, maybe we do a little capitalism, or problematic like demonetized? Problematic like casual homophobia and a couple slurs. I don't think the content would get demonetized even now, and it's certainly there. I would say it's not. It doesn't have the developed ideological perspective I might have today, but it's certainly not pro-capitalism. I need to watch Super Eye Patch Wolf. I keep hearing good things. Oh, his videos are great. He's amazing. Literally any of them. They're all really good. I remember the Geordie Halloween costume in one of the panels. Is Ollie a Star Trek fan? And if so, how embarrassed would he be? He would absolutely be a Star Trek fan who would never admit it because he'd be afraid that it would make him look like a nerd. Like he views himself, he's a Star Trek fan who views himself as better than Star Trek fans. How to talk like a dominatrix, like a true Sigma, not my GF, just friends. I don't think he would be like, I don't think he would get into that Sigma male shit. I think he's too snide for that type of thing. Media from more than about 7 years ago. I get it. Yeah, exactly. But like there was a storyline that was about my feelings about working in a fast food restaurant, and like it was pretty anti-capitalist, I think. Also, the band Godwreck was solid. That was a fun watch. I know. Honestly, it wasn't problematic, but I think the most mid 2000 thing I saw tonight was the characters using made up edgy light slang. Yeah, that was it was very like what in the balls shitting hell, you know. You look sweaty. I don't feel sweaty. And I don't feel sweaty. I mean, how else would you know that you're the best Star Trek fan? Well, I believe that to be a true Star Trek fan, you should be accepting of infinite diversity and infinite forms. Ergo, if you truly embody the ideals of Star Trek, you should not think of yourself as better than anyone, be they Star Trek fan or not. Maybe a fan of something bad. I think it's just one extremely specific spot on your nose. I think it's just shiny. I didn't powder my nose. In infinite combinations, thank you. Back in 2016, I desperately wanted to make a career out of ambitious, beautiful, infinite canvas webcomics. This ship feels like it sailed far away. Welcome to the chat, Scott McLeod. How are you doing, Scott McLeod? The real Scott McLeod in chat right now? If you were in the Star Trek universe, you should be excited to meet new and interesting people and cultures. I mean, I think that's true even in real life, to be honest. Thor says he'd die if he jumped from your ego to your IQ. How do you respond? Thor said that about me? Honestly, I'm surprised that the fictional character Thor knows who I am, regardless of his views on my ego and IQ. Feels like Thor's got a lot of important things to do. Fighting ice giants. A second thing. Probably. Sorry I'm late. What was the webcomic? Did you make Dr. McNinja? I made Control-Alt-Delete. It was me the whole time. I'm Tim Buckley. If Thor says such things, he probably isn't your real friend. Oh, he definitely isn't. He's not real. I can't. He's probably not real. I don't want to be like that kind of guy, you know, like one of these preachy atheists. But like the Norse gods, I'm pretty sure those ones are not real. I think it's hopefully safe to say that Marvel's Thor isn't real, at least. I would virtually guarantee that almost no character from Marvel Comics is real. I know Spider-Man met Obama one time, but I don't think that counts as a Marvel character. What sci-fi universe would be the worst? I was traumatized by Alien 3 when I was 6. Probably I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream would be the worst one. The Norse gods have famously died. That was their whole deal, kind of. Well, I thought the idea was that it was a perpetual cycle, that that played out again and again, or that Ragnarok was to come. But we know what will happen, but it is not yet unfolded. Stan Lee is a character in Marvel Comics? No, he's a real guy that they put in comics, which is different. Superman fought Muhammad Ali. That's DC Comics. You can put a real guy in a comic book, but like, for example, Doctor Doom can't come out of the comic book and get you. Punisher met Eminem. Oh, never mind. Never mind, actually. You're right. David Bowie may or may not have been a mutant now. And he also may or may not have slept with an underage girl. So he also did that. Oh, cool. Batman is real now? Well, then I'm waiting for him to tell me he's proud of me. Jack Kirby is the actual god. I thought Jack Kirby was the one above all. The Punisher met Archie. Okay. Eminem is real in our universe, and he's met the Punisher, who's met Archie, so Archie is real in our universe. Santa from Marvel Comics is real? Oh boy. Who's gonna tell him? How deep does the Marvel Tommy Westphal rabbit hole go? Wondering if you ever tried a deliriant, including stuff like DPH and Datura, since I have heard you talk about hallucinogens before. I have taken, like, NyQuil. Does that count? I know if you can take, I believe you can take enough NyQuil that it becomes a deliriant, albeit a very unpleasant one. Did Bazooka Joe ever cross over with Marvel? I don't know. I don't know as much about the Bazooka Joe-verse as you might assume. We know Sonic the Hedgehog is real. He's verified on Twitter. Yeah, but he recently did that thread where I can't remember what the condition was, but every time someone did it, they would make Sonic's legs longer. And I didn't like that. Isn't NyQuil's active ingredient literally just alcohol? No. That is... It's not DMT. It's a DXM. It's the stuff that makes you robo-trip. Are you a fan of Jacob Geller? Thought Slime. Yeah, I like Jacob Geller. He makes good Vibios. NyQuil's having a big night on this stream. It do have a psychoactive effect. I can't pronounce the name of this drug. Thank you for typing it out. I can't read that aloud. I have no idea how to pronounce this. Did Sonic the Hedgehog come out as a TERF? No way. Sonic would not do that. He's my best friend. He would never betray me in that way. Can confirm, took bottle of NyQuil and I was dead sure that I was in the 18th century France, about to battle in Napoleon's army. No, that actually happened to you. You did go back to 18th century France and fight Napoleon's army. That was unrelated. Dextro Morphan. Thank you. Thank you for the phonetic pronunciation guide. NyQuil is psychoactive. Time to consume an entire bottle. Not a great idea. Very dangerous. Also, even if it works, which is unlikely, you will get quite sick. And then you'll be high and sick. It's simply try drugs. Drugs designed to be drugs. Yeah, also damage your liver. Yeah, presumably, though, if someone is willing to drink a bunch of NyQuil to get high, they're not really putting in a lot of thoughts into the long-term health consequences of their decisions. Being a TERF, I mean. Oh, okay, yeah, no, yeah. I hope so. Are you happy you pinned Andrew Tate down before he blew up, or just sad he's blown up? Definitely the latter. Definitely the latter. Holy shit. It's so weird that this dude gets arrested for human trafficking and then after that gets his moment in the spotlight. Absolutely do not recommend high dosages of deliriants. Is self-promo allowed here? Thoughts, Len? Interesting combination of sentences. Are these two thoughts related? I thought Sonic the Hedgehog died defending thousands of innocent people from the wrath of Shadow the Hedgehog, the ultimate life form. Is that one of the endings in the video game Shadow the Hedgehog, which is Sonic but with a gun? The type of character that you love to see. What if he had a gun and he could shoot you? Are there any drugs you think or might know is fairly safe for people with schizophrenia to experiment with? I feel like usually people say, better don't. I would tend to agree with those people because even if a drug is physiologically safe, psychologically, no drug is safe. Any drug can harm you psychologically. And people with schizophrenia, like, you got to be extra careful. Not because it's going to not because I think people with schizophrenia are going to lose control or whatever, but because it could fuck up your day pretty bad. Best case scenario. I would highly recommend against that. I had a friend who had schizophrenia, and he did a lot of drugs before finding that out, and then he just had to cut them all out. It sucked for him. Not really, but I got schizophrenic friends who do it. They've been fine, but it ain't really worth the risk. I'm not going to tell people, what to do. I believe everyone has the right to dictate what they do and don't do with their own body. But if you're asking for my opinion, I would think it is not the wisest choice. Again, but also, I'm not a fucking psychologist. I don't know. I don't know fucking anything about schizophrenia. I don't know anything about how drugs affect people with schizophrenia. But, if you're asking the question, and I'm to come up with an answer on the spot, I would say probably don't. Sonic never uses a gun in Shadow the Hedgehog. He's too rad to use firearms. Shadow uses guns and drives cars. Yeah, I know. I said that Shadow was Sonic, but with a gun. I'm aware that Sonic wouldn't use a gun, because he runs faster than bullets. So he could just use a finger and he could poke you with the same force as a gun and just kill anyone. We only survive. We are only alive through Sonic's good graces. He chooses that it be so. NyQuil has acetaminophen, which is hepatotoxic in higher doses. Better stick with Robitussin. Why don't you stick with like a drug, like weed? Why don't you just smoke weed? Just fucking relax. You don't have to drink NyQuil to have a good time. Shadow runs faster than Sonic, though. I don't see how that is related. He has a gun. You can't deny that Shadow the Hedgehog has a gun. If you're going to tell me he doesn't, I'm sorry. It is one of his defining characteristics. He owns a gun and he uses it to shoot. Whether or not he could, in the same sense as Sonic, poke you to death is irrelevant because we know that he uses a gun. Because weed won't melt me into a puddle of mutagenic ooze? Not with that attitude. Do you think I just woke up ooze? Do you think one day I just, out of the blue, was ooze? No. It took work. Tell these people to chill out and take mescaline like normal fucking people? I'm not going to tell people that. I thought it was Gorbo's magic jewel. No. When I stole Gorbo's magic jewel, that means that every time I sneeze, I'm a monster by mistake. That has nothing to do with me being ooze. T.S. Actual literal clown, like who performs in circuses. I love your work, especially promoting leftist YouTubers. Just wanted to say thank you for all you do. That means a lot coming from a real clown. I did think you were calling me a literal clown, which you probably don't like the fact that is a phrase that one would use as an insult. We knew you didn't start as an ooze. We read your comics. I'm not in those comics. I think if you want to take NyQuil, you should take it to deal with the symptoms of a cold and or flu under the advice of a medical professional. What kind of gun would you use, Thought Slam? An Uzi? I wouldn't use a gun. I would use a knife. No, I would. Look, this is, who am I going to use a gun on? What am I going to do with a gun? If every single person that I would intend to shoot would become safer if I owned a gun. The way I phrase that makes it seem like I do intend to shoot people. Let me roll that one back. Anyone that I had reason to shoot would become safer were I to own a gun. You can't fool us. We saw your cameos and oozing basement pipe. No, that was just a bedroom. And also, lots of pipes ooze. You can run faster than knives. Check your sources on that one. How on earth do you get your hands on stuff in Ontario? I think you were here. I swear I exhaust all of my contents to get nowhere on most things. DXM is all I have left for cool stuff. First of all, I would never answer that question. That's a cop question. Secondly, what the fuck are you talking about? Weed is legal. Weed is legal. You can go to a store and buy it with a debit card, and you're allowed to. You could walk up and show a cop, hey, look, I just bought some weed, and there's nothing they can do. What are you talking about? Hey, what are you talking about? Because you can just buy weed. And secondly, walk anywhere in Toronto and you will see someone advertising illegal mushrooms. Just nobody cares anymore. You can just buy them anywhere. Canadian FBI has entered chat. Canadian FBI is called CSIS. That is not a joke. By nothing they can do, you mean legally? Because I'm sure they can do a whole bunch by virtue of being a cop. Yeah, they can't do anything extra in addition to the normal cop stuff. They can't bust you for possession of a drug that you bought legally. Wait, what's the RCMP then? I guess, yeah, the RCMP would be, sorry. The RCMP would be the equivalent of the FBI, whereas CSIS would be the equivalent of the CIA, if I understand it correctly. the FBI deals in crimes that are like beyond state jurisdiction, and the CIA deals with crimes that are like national security or like intelligence shit. My mistake. Good catch. Is that right? I would never buy shrooms on the internet, LOL. Okay. I mean, I don't think anybody gets to say, oh, I think it would be far too unsafe to buy drugs on the internet. I will instead drink NyQuil. I will pound NyQuil and fuck up my liver. And with that turn in this conversation, I'm off to bed. Night all. I should really end this stream. So let's get some knock knock jokes going. Knock knock. Who's there? Achoo. Achoo who? Achoo my gum every day. Wait a second, Mounties are cops? Dudley Do Right was a fucking propaganda? Yeah, it's Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Just got the word police in it. Chews his gum every day. Pretty gross. Knock knock, who's there? Juicy. Juicy who? Juicy any monsters under my bed? No. There's so many things that can be seen. Why would you choose that as your example? Knock knock, who's there? Alaska who? Sorry. Knock knock, who's there? Alaska. Alaska who? Alaska one more time. To let me in. Knock knock, who's there? Yellow. Yellow who? Yellow. And how are you doing today? Knock knock, who's there? Donut. Donut who? Donut open the door to strangers. Knock knock, who's there? Handsome. Handsome who? Hand some food to me. I'm really hungry. Knock knock, who's there? Rabbit. Rabbit who? Rabbit carefully. It's a Christmas present. Knock knock, who's there? Sarah. Sarah who? Is Sarah doctor in the house? I feel sick. Would I rather watch the McDonald's 1999 VHS tapes or listen to modern country music for 1 hour? Can I do both? Knock knock, who's there? Ida. Ida who? I don't know. Why don't you open up and find out? That's a real knock knock joke. That one's real. Knock knock, who's there? Oscar. Oscar who? Oscar a silly question. Get a silly answer. Knock knock, who's there? Dishes. Dishes who? Dish is not the end of my knock knock jokes. I'd argue that these have all been real knock knock jokes. Proceed. Make your case. I don't feel that that's true. I would like to hear your argument. Knock knock, who's there? Olive. On theme. Olive who? All of these knock knock jokes are making me sick. Knock knock, who's there? Who? Who? Are you an owl or something? All of these nuts would have been way funnier. Oh my God, you should write a book. You should write some laugh out loud jokes for kids. Knock out loud jokes for kids. Knock knock, who's there? Sombrero. Sombrero who? Sombrero over the rainbow. Knock knock, who's there? Ken. Ken who? Can you come out and play? Knock, knock, who's there? Itchy. Itchy who? Bless you. Knock, knock, who's there? Gorilla. Gorilla who? Gorilla me a hamburger. I'm hungry. Knock, knock, who's there? Ivan. Ivan to come in. So open the door, please. That one's not a real one. You gonna tell me that one's a real one? Knock, knock, who's there? Dwayne. Dwayne who? Dwayne of the bathtub. I'm drowning. How are you talking then? Premise 1. The requirement that a joke be a real knock-knock joke is that it follows the familiar call-and-response knock-knock formula, such that the initial response is part of a play on words in the final response. Rebuttal. To simply obey the formula doesn't make something a joke. Knock, knock. Who's there? Wilma. Wilma who? Wilma Berry Gorilla. There, I followed the formula, but it said nonsense. It has to be a joke, which I would argue very few of the knock-knock jokes in this book are, ergo, they are not knock jokes. Knock, knock, who's there? Walter. Walter who? Walter, you doing here so early? You have to admit, Mild-Mannered Jerks is funnier than Rob Elliott's Laugh Out Loud jokes for kids. I gotta start streaming at a different time of day. The joke should work as though someone's knocking on a door. Yes, it should be a name. It should be a name. I think this is required. Because if it's not a name that someone could reasonably have, then it's simply, the premise makes no sense. Why would your name be something such as Gorilla? Why would your name be Dishes or Alaska or Ernest? None of these are names. Gorilla Grodd? Gorilla Grodd is not a real... Grodd is his name. Gorilla is his title. All right. Who's even... Ernest is only a name in one specific instance? No, it's never been a name. And if you imply that it is, then you're gonna scare me stupid. I'm going to now end the stream. And that'll be that. Thank you for coming. This was a special one to me. I hope you enjoyed it. And I certainly did. And I will see you at another time. Hopefully new video coming out tomorrow. So, well, for patrons tomorrow. The rest of you can wait.